But with Ultimate Doom done this afternoon, we're going to look at other Doom-related things. In the past half-decade or so, there have been plenty of GZDoom or now UZDoom-based games, either in development or released, or in early access, kind of a mixture of the two. So we're going to look at a few of them. We're starting by representing... Oh, hey, Mystic Servants. We're starting by representing Hellforge Studios with Relentless Frontier, which is the game that GZDoom works as the lead developer on. It's not the only game by published by Hellforge Studios that I've played. They also published Malapataka. They also publish Project Absentia, which is gearing up for its 2.0 release. With it's going to be 2 full episodes at that point. I've playtested all 3 of the aforementioned games for them at this point. I kind of wanted to include Malapataka, but I want to get to as many like different studios as I possibly can, which is a little... Saying that is a little unfair, because like Malapataka is a completely different dev team than Relentless Frontier. Although there's definitely a lot of like cross-pollination in terms of like people involved in Hellforge Studios games playtesting each other's games. And for that matter, GZDoom also did a whole lot of level design for Project Absentia. Major Arlene also did some level design for Project Absentia. Major Arlene, obviously, also part of Hellforge Studios. So, yeah, I've had quite a bit of experience with this game. I haven't necessarily gotten all the secrets in it, but I've played it quite a few times, starting with the demo, which was like... I forget if the demo was the entire first half. No, I think it was before... E1M4 got added or something. And it was like an earlier point in development initially, too, where like things were a little bit different. Things have definitely evolved a little bit in the first episode over the past few releases within early access. I have also speedrun it a few times, and we're going to try to do like the speedrun route and see if I can get through it in a timely manner. I'm not going to expect it to be like a, you know, top-notch speedrun, and I might stop here and there to talk about things in the interest of, you know, kind of putting it a little more on display than a speedrun necessarily would, because a speedrun is going to skip quite a few things. But we'll pursue that route, which means I will be playing on easy because the speedrun picks easy, because it's going to have the least resistance. But let's go ahead and get this started. Let me start the timer. Okay, good. My controls are still what I expect.
Lock didn't work. How long was I out?
And I missed the first jump. And I missed that too. I gotta get reacclimated to this. You're supposed to slide through there, and I kind of messed up doing that. So you can skip a whole bunch of the level by just slide jumping across to getting that key. I jumped on his head. I meant to pick up the gun. Thanks. He just destroyed the box that was in my way of picking up the gun. So now we have the shotgun, and that is the entire first level. In an actual speedrun, that would probably take less than half a minute. So there's, I will point out, since there's one right here, there are a whole bunch of lore tablets, pads, whatever you want to call them. A lot of that was it. There was something called the lore update that added that. We also just got double jump. That was the enhancement that I just picked up. So you get double jump pretty early in the game. But sliding and then jumping is kind of a big part of the mobility for speedruns in this. And this level is really, really impressive, and you're not going to get to really appreciate much of it the way that I'm playing it today, because, like, there are multiple routes through this level. Like, you can get one of 2 different keys, or you can just skip the keys altogether, or you can get both of them. And what's even more interesting is, to fully explore this level, you actually have to come back to it. And I'll explain more about that in a couple of minutes, as we are about to pick up an item here.
Jeez, talk about small town charm. That rules out meeting up with the RDI.
So that thing I just destroyed,
Right out of here.
there are some of those in the previous level.
Hold out.
Did I manage to do that without picking up the important item in that level? I think I just did. I have autosaves turned off, so we're gonna redo that. That's hilarious, though. I was like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to have dash now, and I don't. Well, you get to see me jumping through this level again. So I didn't save at the beginning of E1M3. This time, let's save at the beginning of E1M3. Yeah, see, there's another one right here, actually. That also uses the same mechanic.
Population 0. Jeez, talk about small.
And that's how you actually, like, go back to the second level.
With the RDI.
So you get one major progression item there, and then you get another one right here, one room later. Now we can dash. And when you add dashing to slide jumping, you jump really, really far. You slide really far. There's a switch on the second floor of that building, but you can just hit it from the first floor because this is a Doom engine game. I'm gonna save again. As soon as one of those things gets spit out... Oh, you're not dead.
Waste of good mining equipment. Battle recent. Main gate open. Corpses. Absent.
You have to wait for this thing to come out before you can really damage it. Did I ever pick up the machine gun? Or did I totally skip that? Did this machine gun kind of glitch out there because it happened like mid-phase switch? Not entirely sure. No, I think I'm just seeing the other things. There should be... Is there an upgrade here? Or did I think that upgrade got moved. So I think there's now a secret earlier in the level. But yeah, there's actually like a bunch of supplies. Okay, yeah, no, I do have the machine gun. But there's actually a bunch of supplies intended to, like, help you survive that boss fight. And that boss fight gets even more intense, like, way more intense on the higher difficulties. Because there's easy, medium, hard, and relentless. And relentless also, like, changes other stuff, I think. Alright, so, believe it or not, we're halfway through the episode in terms of, like, map numbers. Or I guess this is the midway point, really. Right, I'm supposed to go over here. I'm gonna pay attention to the map for a second and see if I can do something correctly. That works. So normally you get dunked into the water there.
Can't show my weapon. Gotta run.
Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Whoops, I clobbered myself into the wall. Alright, this is the part where I always quick save. Because it's really easy to screw this up. Where are we going now? Now we go down here. That cracked wall, keep in mind, because we'll be coming back to that. But first, we need our Omni-Struct Repair Kit so that we have our Omni-Axe back. Oh, right. And then, yeah, so I have the tutorial messages turned off, I think. Normally you get, like, directions every time you pick up a new thing. So now we have the ability to do a thrust attack, which allows us to destroy those cracked walls. Now we need to drop down here. I went the wrong way. You can actually, like, drop right into where you need to be there. There's more lore here. Fuel leakage, oil leakage, critical damage. Where am I? We want to go through there. I'm doing this the slow way. There's actually platforms on the side here as well that you can use to climb up. And there's another cracked wall there. We also have the ability to do a ground pound at this point. Even more lore. Where the mining team discovers the alien infestation. Oh, right, and this is where they start talking about the Shoop. The Shoop is the boss that we fought in the previous level. But, yeah, this is the requisite engineer that's like, hey, I want to do the thing. Wait, there's even more lore. Is this also about the Shoop? That's talking about the bugs infesting everything and overrunning. Even more lore. Detonate the explosive charges and seal that shaft. Yeah, we'll be seeing that shaft in a minute. What do they say about the ship? Can I activate it? Yep, that's still happening. This door takes a bit of time to open. Because this is the shaft that they sealed. Now is another good time to save. Because now we must ride the elevator.
What a heap. I can't believe this thing was still in use.
And we're not alone. Whoops. And you'll notice that anytime that I melee an object that explodes, it always explodes on a timer. So if you shoot objects, they'll explode immediately, but if you melee them, you have a chance to get the hell out. The other big thing about the Omni-Axe is when you kill enemies with it, it converts them into Omni-Fuel, which you can then use towards health or armor or ammo. So you have some freedom in terms of your resources. if you ever see the Omni-Fuel number, which is unfortunately slightly behind me, if you ever see that be blue, that means that I'm, like, over limit. And it'll start counting down if I don't use it. This is where we save again.
Too much weight. This thing is gonna fall. Cage match is canceled.
This is why we save. Because if I miss the jump...
Too much weight. This thing is gonna fall.
Excuse me. Because if you take too long, the elevator falls and you die. But they do give you some chance to get out of there. And then, of course, for maximum drama, the elevator falls right after you jump off it. I have not really been maximizing my use of the crouch dash. What lore do we have at the end of this section? This is the shoop. This is the letter addressed to the shoop person. They decided to greenlight the operation. What could possibly go wrong? Your super heavy extremist weapon platform will be registered by the RDI and linked to the network once completed. Please save this document as it contains your license for authorized use of heavy weaponry on vehicles. We look forward to its completion, and we're convinced it'll drastically reduce cult activity around Blackwater as a result. We'll be in contact. Yeah, what qualifies as cult activity exactly? Okay. So, the next level has an interesting history. Or I should say the next two levels have an interesting history. Because the next two levels used to be a single level. They split them because it was a very chonky level and the load time was kind of ridiculous. Alright. So, also, these purple gas-emitting things used to not be here. These are new. With one of the with the lore update, I believe. Don't touch the purple gas. I just watched it mulch most of my squad. It ate right through their armor, so respirators don't help. The bugs don't seem to give a shit about the stuff. Tried shooting the pods to break them. Shots pinged right off. Find another route. Find another route, they say. However, what you can do... I did just save, right? I did not just save. I need to remember what my quick save key... That's quick load. That's my quick save key. Okay. I have keys that are closer to my movement keys for speedrunning. So you could do that. But what you can also do, from a speedrun perspective, is you get up here, you get up there, and actually I think there's a secret in here. There's some secret armor in there. But then you get up here, and then you get up there, and then you dash jump, crouch slide, dash jump. And then you're all the way the heck up here, so you can just jump on the key. You're supposed to go through like a duct to get around. And then I kind of just tank some damage through there and get back out here, and then we're done with that section. Alright, now this is my save key. I'm about to take damage from that dude because he caught up to me. This is another place where there's like multiple routes through the level. We're gonna detour over... Wait, was it on... It's on that platform. I was gonna say, there should be a machine gun here somewhere. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff you can look at over there. Oh yes, one of the multiple recruitment opportunity mandatory. It's like opportunity mandatory. I don't think you're fooling anybody. That's no longer an opportunity. Congratulations, your employer Blackwater High School has been closed due to lack of demand. Due to your newly acquired unemployment status, you have been elected to join the Ross Defense Initiative. Please report to your local recruitment station immediately. Failure to comply in a timely manner will result in seizure of your assets and forfeiture of your enlistment bonus. See you immediately, future RDI soldier. So yeah, lovely. Everyone's getting drafted into this nonsense. Now this is where things start getting interesting. Not that things weren't interesting already. Like I tried to point out earlier when I first got the charge shot for the pistol, like, you can backtrack at that point, because there's opportunities to use that in the second map. And possibly even the first map. I forget if it goes that far back. But there's definitely, like, when I first played the demo, I was blown away because, like, this is absolutely, like, it's a GZDoom-based game, but it's a freaking, like, movement tech-based Metroidvania that has both movement-based progression and weapon-based progression. So, like, that blew me away the first time that I played this. But now this section gets interesting in a different way because now you get into, like, true, like, Hexen-like hub behavior where there are multiple places to go from one map. Malfunctioning drones. Oh my. A planet infested with giant bugs, and I managed to get shot by some piece of shit malfunctioning drone. Something's also jamming our comms, so I can't contact my squad. I bet that energy cult we came here to stomp are still trying to screw with things. Assholes can't read the room. Found some beer in the office fridge. Nothing to stop the bleeding, but I was never making it out of here anyway. None of us are. This penal region shit is a death sentence. Cheers! P.S. Whoever finds this, take my kit. Left it on a desk. If you're Dominion, feel free to use it to shoot yourself. Haha, asshole. So yeah, it actually takes the longest to recover the pistol, but you can recover it early in the previous map, if I recall correctly. Alright, let's save here, because we're going to do more sequence breaking. What you're supposed to do here is fight a bunch of dudes and wait for that to open. We're not going to do that. We're going to go over here. And, oh, I thought I didn't make it, but I did. I just wasn't out far enough. Let's do that again. I'm surprised I made that, actually. So we're gonna skip that entire fight and ignore it on the way back, too. There's some stuff down here, isn't there? Yeah. I don't even need that, really. Do I need ammo for anything? Not really. But I guess I'll use it on that. And if you like that skip, you're gonna get more skips. Because this area has the biggest skip of the game. Oh, there was more lore that I skipped at the beginning, because I'm too excited about the skip. So, you used to be able... Actually, can you still get over there? I thought at some point Corzadin blocked this. Did he decide to not block this? So, originally there was a skip to go from here to there, believe it or not. You could also go from up there to over there. Oh, now I remember what it was. I think I decided to do that anyway because... I'm trying to get a dash jump over here, and it's not working because of these guys. Okay, let's just do this a different way. We'll do it the more intended way, which is go up here, and then get up here, and then jump over. That's how you're supposed to do this. I mean, this is a secret. The thing you get there is the Pulverizer Mine Launcher. And having that can be useful for saving time later. But then you can basically just jump over to that. And again, you can do that from all the way across as well. side do I want to be on here? I think it is the other side, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's over here. So we just skip basically the entire level.
Power going at all costs. Somebody messed up. Or there's no one left.
Now, this is a part that got super more developed in the lore update. I forget what the full name of the lore update was, because it was something N lore, wasn't it? So this whole interior area of the ship didn't used to exist, but this is, you know, a big ship that crashed here. This is the ship that Noah was crew on, actually, as we'll see later.
Everyone
It used to
on board
be
got boiled waiting for rescue. Dominion's not gonna waste time.
Whoa, that was weird.
Peanut
Uh-oh.
Legion, you
I got, like, stuck
morons.
there. I've never seen that happen before. Yeah, that's more what I expected to happen. So we need a key to get in here, which we don't have yet. So we've got to go down here first. And this is a place that you can use the mine launcher. I might elect to not do that for now, and just go through this way. But I think I concluded... Don't worry about those sounds. Those are dudes that are outside. Oh, well, I fucked it up. We're doing it again. I think I, like, mathed it out, and the mine launcher... Like, detouring to get the mine launcher... Excuse you. Saves... Oh my god, I did it again, didn't I? Yeah, I sure did. Saves a few seconds over, like, climbing up this manually, but also using the mine launcher I find to be, like, very error-prone, and, I mean, it does hurt you, so... There we go. You do have to dash out of that. Alright, so, we've got lore, which I will read first, and then we've got the blue key. This is Captain Dirk Thornton of the DPB Procyon, recording what is likely my final voice log. My ship was shot down by Convergence anti-ship batteries originating from Ross 128b's surface. It's outrageous how dug in the Convergence are on this planet. They must have been here for years. We've landed in an active caldera, likely the results of outdated or falsified reports from the Ross Defense Initiative. Wonder which one is more likely out of those two. We've received a few reports from our scouts that some kind of alien bugs have flooded the streets of Blackwater Borough. The reports have stopped since then. I suspect we're the last surviving crew of the Procyon. I was able to get one last message out to the Dominion before the comms went down. Gansky was working on... Gansky is us. Noah Gansky is the protagonist. Gansky was working on an improved Omnistruct, one with near-perfect efficiency. I told him that I knew where he was keeping the data. It's a bargaining chip that's sure to expedite their arrival, maybe in time to save some of the crew. One can only hope. Yeah, right, you're bargaining...
Thanks for ratting me out, Cap. Dominion's definitely coming for those schematics. Those hodads don't deserve my research. Time to pay my old place a visit.
Yeah, selling out to the RDI seems not good. That's not likely to work out in your favor. Lieutenant Harker, I was told you might know how to get into Noah's room. Pry the door open with a crowbar or something. No power, no lock. Just put your back into it. But his room is powered, sir? Captain Thornton is saying he doesn't have remote access to his door. Can't we use a cutter or explosives or something? Huh. Guess he was holding out on us. What a dickhead. Cutter's going to take forever. His room is right next to a window. Don't use explosives. Maybe just get off the ship, kid. Captain's clearly lost control.
No place like home. Seti, Glees, Signy, Pavardi.
Oh, that looks kind of cool when it's slid in there like that, yeah. I never really noticed the trim texture on the side of the door. So, free Omni fuel capacity upgrade. And here's Noah's file. Convict name Noah Gansky. Crime manslaughter of Dominion government official. Sentence penal agent service 20 years. Penal agent assignment Procyon hazard ops. Role combat engineer. Male 46, widowed, 0 dependents. Previous roles: Research Lead, Volcanus Guild, Sanctioned Engineer, Volcanus Guild, Technician, Dominion Storm Corps, Clerk, Radical Terrier's Delivery Service. That sounds like a mini-game waiting to happen. I hope Radical Terrier's Delivery Service is something we see something about in some future installment. Sentencing report. During a public demonstration of the Volcanus Guild's prototype rapid construction device, witnesses state that Nowagansky made the governor vanish into thin air. Soon after, the governor reappeared in a blue flash, collapsing onto the ground. He was pronounced legally dead at the scene. Autopsies could not determine a cause of death. Classified. Despite Volcanus 10's planetary court judgment of this incident as an accident, the Dominion has intervened. Gansky has been sentenced to 20 years penal legion service. With Gansky working directly in service to the Dominion, we anticipate progress on the Omnistruct project to advance at a more acceptable pace under strict Dominion terms. Cool. So they literally framed him for a freak accident. I wonder if they sabotaged the device and caused the accident to begin with. Classified. Progress report. Nowagansky has voluntarily forfeited all rights to the Omnistruct research and has agreed to continue his work aboard the DP-Beast Procyon in exchange for a full pardon of the Volcanus Guild, as well as priority requisition rights during his penal legion service. In other words, he's a good guy and prioritized everybody else over himself. Dominion High Command has authorized the mass production and distribution of Omnistructs and Omnifuel to the frontier planets to expedite colonial expansion. Lieutenant Gansky has gone on record for condemning this decision and has received a disciplinary mark on his record. Aww. Noah has received his third disciplinary mark, making him eligible for summary execution. Due to Noah's research arrangement with the Dominion, he is exempt from disciplinary action. Under no circumstance should Lieutenant Gansky be permitted to learn of this exemption. Wait, but then shouldn't he know he's supposed to be executed then? Wouldn't he start getting, kind of suspicious that he hasn't been executed yet? DPB Procyon Captain Dirk Thornton reports that Gansky has constructed an unauthorized, non-networked research lab within the maintenance space of the barge. He has accomplished this with Captain Thornton's assistance in exchange for upgrading the Procyon's ship systems and crew equipment. Gansky is under the false assumption that Thornton is not reporting this exchange. Thornton is ordered to maintain this false assumption. So that would be the part where he ratted him out, then. Can't believe we're logging into only... Never mind. Alright, we have to hit the button again.
Better gone than in Dominion hands, right? Okay, don't think about it. Just... Nah. Someone out there still deserves this. Too much potential to waste. The entropy thing is a temporary setback. There. One magnum opus schematic. Just gotta keep it away from the despots.
I'm assuming the entropy thing was what killed that guy.
And probably the bugs. No sweat.
I don't know, it sounds like it's already got bugs. Hey, yo. Hey, there's more lore down here. 23 pallets, Noah? You're killing me here. Sorry, Cap. Needed him. Always submitted another disciplinary against you. It's the third one from him. He'll know something is wrong when it gets approved and you're still around. Yep, this'll be the 18th one, right? Let me know when my 6 executions are scheduled. Until then, I'm busy. Right, I'll see if I can intercept the report. Smaller shipments from now on, yeah? Yeah, so no one knew full well that clearly he wasn't being executed. A last power cell. Alright, I should save here. Just in case I screw up and forget how to get out.
Ship's sinking and I'm not going down with it.
Yeah, like, not that way. Alright, which way are we going? Pretty sure it's across. And there it goes. I think when I walk over here, he says something. Or maybe it is like... Oh, it might be when I cross over here.
Riddance.
And it's gone. So, fun fact, good riddance is the line that was used as a placeholder when not all the voice lines were in yet. Alright, that's enough. I can get past them now. There was more lore at the beginning of this level that I skipped earlier, so... that's the wrong way. Let's read this. Anyone still alive on the ship? I need a power cell. Parker, you're still alive out there? We're using all the cells to jumpstart the reactor. Get back on quick before we leave. Fuck no, I'd rather take my chances out here than get court-martialed by the Dominion. Check Noah's quarters. That asshole's always stashing things away. Wait, hang on. Something doesn't make sense there. Harker was the one who needed a power cell, but then Harker's the one saying check Noah's quarters? I would expect someone else to tell Harker to check Noah's quarters. Am I misreading that? Or is that actually an oops? I don't know. Alright, so remember we just, like, left a fight earlier? Oh yeah, so by the way, there is a weapon upgrade in that level that we skipped that would have actually made it really easy to clear out the purple gas-emitting things over on that side hallway there. We will automatically get the upgrade later anyway. But now it's time to... Oh! We just saw the door open. That's the door that we normally don't wait to open, but it actually just opened. But we're gonna go over here anyway. That's actually interesting, though. I wouldn't have expected it to open that. How much time did I waste in this area? Also, I think I need to go back to the previous area if I want to show something off. I was thinking it was in this map, but it might actually be in the other one. So, I need to remember to do that. But now we're going to go into the unexpected change of pace of the episode. Which is very purple, or magenta. And also very unsettling, especially the first time you play it. And he leads them where the governor went. Our techs can't bypass the starport lockdown. We need that key card ASAP. So, the reason we're going into these side areas, we will see later. There is a locked door, well, a double locked door. There's a shielded and locked door at the other end of Blackwater Borough, and we need two things to get into that. One to disable the force field, one to actually open the door. And one of the things we need is the governor's pass, which is what we're pursuing in this area. We're still searching the power plant. We haven't found any survivors. Power reserves are at 12%. The city's going to lose power soon. Techies aren't getting through the starport lock. Might as well send them our way to get this place running again. Bingo! Found one of his bodyguards barricaded in a control room, still alive. Says the governor was escorted to a bunker deep in the crystal mines. This guy got separated from the rest of the pack. Gonna lead us to that bunker. I'll keep you posted. Any news on the techs? Shit's foobar. We got ambushed in the mines by something. I ordered everyone to retreat and thought they were following behind me, but I'm alone now, pinned down in the drainage tunnels. For the love of God, don't... And that's the end of that. So yeah, just take note of all those rocks. We need to go through there, and then that closes, and it says it's out of power. That out of power indicator is actually a recent-ish addition. So these colorful, spiky things, there is a lore entry that explains these. I think they're called jester hats, and yeah, they explode if you're close to them. So I just skipped a bunch of platforming by doing that, to grab the key that way. And we need that for this, which is the backup generator. This might be what talks about the jester hats. Let's see. Reminder to all core terraforming mining personnel. The RDI has mandated that we focus our efforts on mining Ardonium-235, aka jester hats. There you go. These are considerably more efficient at power generation than the more common Ardonium-188. Remember the do's and don'ts of A235 collection. Do remember to wear your premium core terraforming electrical protection suit while on the job. Do use your premium core terraforming personal exoskeleton with arm extension. Do not step within 3 meters of an A235 sample. Do not increase lethality of accidental detonation by placing more than one A235 sample in each hover cart. There were like 6 earlier. So people clearly following instructions. And then there's 3 addendums corresponding to the asterisks. If we can remember these basic rules, we can work together to reduce work fatalities. Addendum. Due to short supply, electrical protection suits will no longer be distributed to non-critical personnel. I mean, if you don't have personnel anymore, then you can't mine Ardonium anymore. I would think all personnel should be considered critical. Addendum. Due to supply requests from the RDI, personal exoskeletons will no longer be distributed to any mining personnel. Well, there goes the rest of the neighborhood. Addendum. Due to the urgency of Blackwater Borough power needs, we will be speeding up A235 collection by requiring a minimum, remember maximum of 1? And now it's minimum of 6, parentheses 6, A235 samples in each hover cart before it can be returned to the BBPP. You know? The first time I played this, AI bros hadn't gone hog wild quite yet. Think about the completely unwarranted speculative data center growth that, you know, drove up RAM prices and hard drive prices and the like. This kind of reads like that. It's like, yeah, no, actually we need more of this stuff, so we're just gonna kill everybody. Alright, we're going back out here now. I should save. I can't see a damn thing. Here we go. Yeah, so this is... You can already tell by the music that things are getting a little unsettling here. Greetings, employee. Thank you for contacting Core Human Resources. Unfortunately, we cannot permit relocating your workstation at this time. Our records show that your workstation is placed at the optimal distance from your work area, and we cannot risk a loss of efficiency during this cycle. Good news, employee. Our records indicate that your militia training is up to date and your loyalty records are acceptable. We've sent you Employee Safety Care Package Class B to help give you peace of mind. Because sure, that'll work. Sincerely, Core Human Resources Unit 48B. And here's the email that they responded to. First off, thank you very much for the promotion. I'm ready to serve the needs of the city, and I'll work vigilantly to ensure BNPP runs without any airflow problems. I'm very content with my promotion in my current position. But could I please move my desk? I'm not sure why this desk was placed inside of the vent system, but this place gives me the heebie-jeebies. I swear I keep hearing things moving around up here, especially from this open pipe placed precisely at face level as I type this email. Combined with the rumors about some kind of rock bug sightings in the mines, I'm having a difficult time focusing on my work. I'd feel much better if I could simply move my desk. So yeah, guess what? If someone's fearing for their life all the time that they're working at their desk, you're losing more efficiency than you are by not moving their desk because it's at optimal distance from their work area. Also, yeah, did you see that? That thing just moved. The very first time I played this, I got slaughtered by one of the rock bugs as soon as I finished reading that particular lore bit. So that was pretty funny. that not get any of them? Because the thing is, those can also, like, deal with these guys. Okay, I think that got both of them. Hey, Corzidon. Yo, I heard you were playtesting the Ivor demo earlier. I think I electrocuted myself a bit. Oh, yep, still doing it. Giga errands. I am at least mildly curious about Ivor whenever that's more broadly playable. I think there was there like an early demo for that on itch or something? Because I feel like I did try something, but I didn't know if I could really get an accurate impression from it. Shipping, oh, this was the care package. Magnum rounds, armor vest, and medical kit. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that was enough to help the dude. Oh, hi. See? Case in point. Why did that not kill you? Thank you. Alright, anyway, now we can get through here, and things will definitely be fine now. We actually have to go that way, because we can't go through here without a command pass. Spent like an hour playtesting, giving feedback, then like 2 hours talking game dev. Oh, cool. Are they doing a custom engine for that? Or are they basing it directly on... well, I guess I should qualify that better. I mean, like, you know, not basing it on, like, Doom or Quake, basically. Now there's... you follow the little health breadcrumb trail here. Now, the one thing I have to watch out for is... there is a drop here. I think it's there. I think we're past it now. More lore. Note to self, rock things hate electricity. Yeah, this is what the level has already been trying to tell us. I think... am I right in remembering that initially there weren't bug zappers all over the place and those were added later? That's Unity-based, yeah, okay. But it's not like it's, you know, it's not like it's GZDoom or FTEQW or Dark Places or something like that. Because, like, it looks like it, you know, the aesthetic feels slightly Quake adjacent, but... feels like probably mostly its own thing. Note to self, rock things hate electricity. I was running away from some of those rock things and accidentally got too close to a jester hat and set it off. Shocked the hell out of me, but it killed the things that were chasing me. Might be able to use this later. Thanks, self. Alright, time to hit the plunger. And we get big explosion. Also, if you've been wondering why you're hearing, like, big thudding sounds, we're about to find out. Also, we just found, well, not the command pass, but the governor's severed hand completely. But we're not out of the woods yet. Oh, right. The personal notepad for the governor. If we win, good evening, citizens of Blackwater. On this glorious day, I bring you the news of our total victory over the invaders within our walls. Our dedication and resolve have prevailed. At this very moment, brave RDI troops are bringing order back to our streets. I urge you, citizens of Blackwater, to please remain in your homes until further order is restored. We shall return to our former glory in no time. I pledge to you tonight that I shall maintain this victory with all of the dedication and resolve I can command in accordance with my duties. Mindful of your concerns, sustained by your bravery. Thank you and good night. If we lose, notice that that's in brighter text than if we win. Good evening, citizens of Blackwater. On this glorious day, I bring you the news of our nearing victory. Yeah, apparently loss is nearing victory. Again, this hits a little too close to home in 2026 when the U.S. is run by a complete moron who can't admit defeat ever and is just looking for any possible, like... not even a win, but something even remotely spinnable as one. Nearing victory over the invaders within our walls, our dedication and resolve will prevail. At this very moment, brave RDI troops are bringing order back to our streets. I urge you, citizens of Blackwater, to please remain in your homes until order is restored. We shall return to our former glory in no time. And then the rest is the same. Yep. Yeah, so that's the... I've only been, like, reading the lore bits that are, like, directly along the critical path of the speedrun, but even so, this is the second time I've been like, boy, this has new meaning to me in 2026, and I kind of hate it. And it's not your fault. The first was the reducing the safety precautions in terms of, like, the resources and the cramming multiple jester hats into one cart, and I was just like, this sounds like, this reminds me of the speculative data center building for AI bullshit that nobody wants. Thank goodness this is just satire and not based on real events that happened after this lore was written. Yeah. So yeah, we also need that key. That was the command pass. So yeah, the command pass is just to get the hell out of here. The severed hand is for the thing at the end of the other level. So yeah, there's a big guy. You probably saw him for like a split second there. Yeah, that was him. We don't like him. He doesn't like us. Well, he probably does like us for dinner. Shit, where am I? Well, that seems like a bad place to be. Right, go that way. I don't even know if I'm going the right way at this point. I guess, yes. Go. I got very confused in the dark there. That dash did not do what I wanted it to do. Alright, for the time being, we're okay. Whoops. That sign is telling you that something needs to be powered up, and it just turns out that this attachment we got allows you to electrify things. Okay, I am now less dead, so that's good. There's some armor. Oh yeah, remember I said, yeah, remember the heavy clomping sounds? Yeah, that's not a rock. That's a big rock bug. And I'm going to save again. Because now it's time to fight this big guy. There we go. On easy difficulty, that should, yeah, completely... That completely does in the first... Yeah, I got myself a little bit fried there. Let's pick up some stuff. That's right, that sound means that I can go in here and use this again. The only problem is, yeah, if you go in there when he's not, like, right on you, then he just goes over it instead. We're pretty close to done now. There we go. He exploded.
Exit's open. We gotta leave.
And yeah, there's another one down here that I could have also used. I'm just gonna collect some stuff. I have 0 Omni fuel. Pioneers used to ride those babies for miles. No Omni-Fuel, but hey, we got, like... What exactly did we get? We got a couple of sodas and pretzels and tacos. More lore. Made it to the storage room, but Marty and Dee are dead. Boris wants to cut our losses and return with supplies, but we're gonna lose the whole city if someone doesn't lower the cooling rods. I sent him back with some food and ammo. You guys should be good for a few days. Careful letting him back in. I think those bug things are stalking us. I'll make it a run for the reactor. Maybe I can make it if I can just run straight for it, you know? Maybe you don't all have to die. If we don't all get blown the fuck up, you'll know I got it. Oh well. That opens that door again. Looks like Kenny got the rods lowered, but the power's still failing. Main door can't open if the power plant isn't running smoothly, thanks to the cool security feature core. He bought us some time, but we're still screwed if we stay here. I'm not dying with these dickweeds. Gonna make a run for it next watch, but I can't escape through the I bet I can escape through the vents. Leaving this note here in case any of you doorknobs get wise. Get out while you can. And now we return to our regularly scheduled Blackwater Burrow. He did actually get it, he just wasn't able to restart the reactor, as we found out in that follow-up note. Alright, the funny thing is, in this playthrough, I actually saw the, I saw the main door open, like, as I was crossing over to come here. And now I'm wondering how much time I wasted versus whether I should actually, like, make use of that. I didn't read this on the way over last time. This is a DM between a couple. And unfortunately, things didn't turn out so well. Oh, right. So now... Well, okay. Ordinarily, I would do the big skip. But there's one other thing I want to show off, and I think I actually have to go back to the previous level to show it. Actually, wait. Can I do that from here? I have to go through, like, this door or something? I need a civic... Oh, I forgot about that. I don't think I can actually get back easily. I forget where the Civic Pass actually... Oh, wait, no, the Civic Pass is what we're going to get on the other side. I forgot that it's green now. Alright, well, I guess we'll do the big jump then for shits and giggles. We're going to reload because I kind of screwed up my opportunity to do the big jump. Yeah, alright, we're doing things as originally planned for the time being. That jump wasn't going to work. But yeah, I want to show the Easter egg, and I think that's actually in E1M6 still. I was misremembering it as being in this map. All right, so we're gonna jump in here and go through this little tunnel. Where? Oh, right. I have to like do it. Don't I have to crouch up here or something? There it is. Wait. Okay, you have to turn. I forgot about the turn. Where's the opening? There it is. I should probably get rid of that guy. There we go. Don't get rid of myself. Alright, so. Time to show off the hardest but most interesting part of the speedrun. Which we do I do this precisely in order to, like, this is still part of, like, skipping the initial fight in this level and not waiting for that door to open, which we already saw open, so it's pointless now, but don't worry about it. I should actually save, like, here with this out. And now I gotta remember how to do it, because it's been so long. Oh, I missed the final thing. I basically had the rest of it. No, that was not enough distance covered. Nah, that's probably not far enough. Oh, wow, it was. There's more wiggle room there than I realized. So that, like, goes entirely around a building so that we don't need the key to go through it. And that key is here.
Barrier and an admin lock on the starport. Figures. Some dick took the power cell from the controls and would left the barrier. Easy fix at least. The squad is bound to have a spare cell. But the admin key is a tricky one. Maybe the city governor has it.
Clearly I should have turned my music down to hear those voice lines.
Died in a convenient spot.
He did not die in a convenient spot. So yeah, the power cell is what we horked from the ship we flew in on. And then the governor's hand is for the other part of that. We're still alive in Blackwater. Managed to exfil from the crash site with a bunch of newbies, and we're looking for a new home, preferably with a squad that's got its shit together. We could use your help in getting the Blackwater starport. Place is locked down, doors reinforced. I can open that door, but it probably won't close again. Did your DFF survive the landing? Good point. We'll get a force field up. Bring a power cell if you can. No way I'm schlepping one of those things that far. They were all on the ship anyway, and the ship's taking a hot bath. Improvise something. Yeah. Of course, the intention is... The way the level is designed is you need the Civic Pass to open the doors that get you to the 2 levels that I already played. We did the speedrun route, so that brings up this switch, which lets you disable that. And that's the governor's hand, which lets you open the door.
Alright, we're in. Let's see what's in stock.
Now, we're not going to go in there just yet. Actually, I'm forgetting what's up there, and I'm kind of curious about it. I remember there's something up here. So we're doing a little bit of exploration today. Because otherwise the run would... We're doing exploration, we're doing a little bit of lore reading. Otherwise the run would have been over already. Oh, that's right. There's a thing over here. What is my best bet to get back? This is where I came from, right? Yeah. Alright, also, we're not really intended to go this way through here, and I don't know if that's going to cause me problems. I mean, like, on the first time. Ordinarily, you come back this way later. Although, actually, no, that's not true. This is the way you go the first time. I'm just misremembering things, right? No, I don't think I am misremembering things. Oh no, there's the vent. Okay, now the vent's still there. This is, yeah, you're normally supposed to go that way. It's been a while since I've intentionally gone that way. And now let's just go through the tunnel that opened that, you know, is meant for players to use. Hey, there's more lore here. Manually placed invisible bridge actors on all those light poles to make them traversable. Then, like a month later, learned how to spawn those automatically from the light poles with the right assets. Oh, neat. Yeah. Wasn't there a time when they weren't traversable? Too? Captain Carter? Yes, Private, what do you need? Here, sir. Thanks, Danny. We'll take it from here. Hey, Archie, it looks like your tablet is working fine after all. I'm at the park, and all I found were some confused rookies and civilians. They said you left without saying anything. What happened? Where the hell are you? I'm at the starport. The park was a lost cause. The power plant has been overrun. We're leaving Blackwater, Lieutenant. Lost cause? Archie, you left dozens of people here. I'm escorting them to the starport. Then me and you were having a long talk. Alright, so now we're back here. And now I can go this way, which is our alternate route back. Age restrictions lifted. Weren't they just talking about, like, expanding eligibility for the draft in the US to, like, max age 42 or something? So, another thing that shouldn't be true. Yeah, now there's gonna be random enemies all over the place. Alright, so. Don't go that way. Who else is shooting at me? Alright. We want to be in here somewhere. Well, I'm dead. Okay. Something exploded behind me. This is actually how you're supposed to get back, I think. Do I have... Oh, right. Okay. As long as you take it from the right side. Yes, I have created a problem for myself by doing things in the order I did them. Wait, this isn't the right building, is it? One of the Guardians charged a flame... So, instant regret for him, but worth it, question mark? Is it actually the building back here that I'm thinking of? Like, I skipped it that far back? That's kind of hilarious. Oh, hey, more lore. Ingram, we've got a supply issue. We've got enough concrete to patch the walls after the last convergence raid, but only just barely. We're working around the clock to produce more, but if they hit us again tomorrow, we're screwed. Got any plans? Don't stop working. We're petitioning Husk to send over more construction materials and workers, but they haven't responded yet. We're sending over 3 crates of VNF 50 Magnums with ammo. There should be enough for each of your workers and their family members. Make sure they remember their training. We might need it soon. It was a very economical choice of the Guardian. I guess if it only lost its armor from it, yeah. Okay. So I think this is... Yeah, this should be the right building. Yep, it's right over there. That at least this is one way of getting in. If I recall correctly, there are 2 ways to get in. So let's actually save here, because if I recall correctly... Yeah, this fence is one way to get over here. You've got to be kidding me. Let's try that again. Yep, that's what I thought. I didn't actually mean to hit that button, but okay. Alright. The hard part should be over, but this is the part that I always manage to screw up somehow. Actually, has this been restructured to make it harder to screw up? And this is our Easter egg. 2. See Knee at surplusvendingandplumbing.com. Mr. Knee. I figured we had a firm understanding of what this job entailed. You came in, you did your job, you received payment, and you left. So it is with much surprise that this morning, upon conducting my daily business, I discover something new in my private bathroom. Not the custom XXL toilet I had ordered, no. A grungus vending machine, flooding my lavatory in a hellish green glow. My curiosity got the better of me, and I try to order a drink from it. The infernal thing flushes. Why? How? I dare not even try to drink this toilet-sourced grungus drink. And I still lack a functioning, appropriately scaled toilet. I shudder to think of where my custom toilet is gone. Fix it! From M. Vast, CEO of Vast Communications, so named because everything is huge in this area. And here is the giant grungus vending machine. And here's us. So, you heard what he said. That might have been hard to hear. Hang on. Let me adjust things a little bit. Just temporarily, at least. Yeah, so the reason that this Easter egg has my name on it is because I said something about we must embrace the flush when Corzadin, I guess back then it was a tweeted about the vending machines making flushing noises. And also because this is an oversized vending machine, it has more stuff in it than usual. Alright, let me put the volume back to where it was. Do I remember where it was? Oh my god, dude, I can't hit 55 on the dot, whatever. I don't remember exactly where the music was. But before we leave, we gotta visit the other Easter egg, which is Slimbrotsky's Easter egg right here. And also we get an Omni-Fuel upgrade for it. And actually, we can just jump out from here. I didn't remember that. Is this new? Was this always here? I don't remember it. You were showing them off and it legitimately slipped your mind that they still had a toilet flushing? Oh boy. Alright, now back to our regularly scheduled finishing the episode. This playthrough is actually taking me longer than I anticipated because, you know, I figured speedrun route, it'll be done in like less than an hour. But there's actually a surprising amount of lore even around the critical path, so... Alright, now let's go back through the intended route again. So you're supposed to just jump across that bridge and that's it. But jumping to that bridge... Oh yeah, I don't have to actually do that anymore. I can just go through here again, right? Because that overrides that. You know what? Going around might still be better. Alright, now I already opened all this stuff, so we can just waltz on in. And the game does, I didn't point this out in E1M4 because it goes by so quickly, but the game does point out in, I think, 2 areas specifically, E1M4 and right before the start of this, that there are points of no return, because like I've mentioned, there is plenty of backtracking to do, especially in the first 3 maps, and then of course there's the going between the maps in the second half.
Completely dry on spacefaring vessels. What a shame. I'll have to try my luck at Rusk. Maybe there's an Airbus or something. A humongous air truck, and it needs refueling. Better than nothing. Barely.
Alright, and they arm you to the teeth. Like, hint hint, this is the big one. I'm probably not gonna get the quick progression at the beginning of this. I was trying that a little bit earlier. I am so out of practice at speed running this. So that starts the fueling process. Are they dead? They might already be dead. I was like, where are they? What am I stuck on? Well, alright, everything. Yeah, so the thing is, if you can kill, like, 6 of these guys before the other ones start coming in, it actually progresses the first phase early. Alright, now it's time to go over here and flub that shot completely. I think we just got a 2-for-1 to make up for it. Yep, because here comes the next guy. So, this is a Titan. You would have seen this in Homecoming. The area to the left of the hub map that I was in, but I skipped it. Alright, now we gotta do... Oh, nice. Great. Immediately down to, like, 2 health. Alright. Maybe a bit of a detour for health and armor and stuff. Alright. Ow. Right, so there's 3 of those but I only have to actually kill 2 of them. Where's the other one? Oh, right behind him. Ah, he's just shooting his buddy. I don't trust this. I got stuck on something. I got stuck on a pile of boxes. Alright, we gotta redo the last 3 phases. Whoa, frame rate dipping a little bit. Oh, I forgot about those being there. Yeah, ow. Where is he? There he is. Did he move again? Did I advance the phase? Where is he? I advanced the phase and didn't know it. Alright, that time I heard it. Let's actually save this time. down. Second one down. Time to go.
Fueling done. Let's mosey.
And there is the end of episode 1. Which now has a proper ending, too. The Lorenvania update is what this was called, right? I was struggling to remember the other half of the name. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that I got the Titan caught in the purple gas explosion. Oh, yeah. Best part of the ending is the windshield wiper displacing the slug.
Bye-bye, Blackwater. No survivors, no starships, no reason for me to stay. I've got the autopilot set to Rusk and a full tank of fuel. Everything should be hunky-dory. But it isn't. Now that things have slowed down, my mind is speeding up. I can't stop thinking about it. The Procyon Legion, dead. An entire city, hundreds of thousands of people, dead. Everyone I've ever loved or cared about, dead. But that's old news. I managed to push the thoughts out of my head. I can self-reflect when I'm dead. Rusk is on the horizon. Part of me hopes I'm not greeted by more nightmarish vistas of giant claws and fleshy bug muck. But one last thought holds domain over my brain meat. One too practical for me to ignore. What happened to that energy cult we were sent here to suppress?
And therein lies the question for episode 2. Also, yeah, this audio sounds a lot more even than it used to be, because I didn't even think about it for more than half of it. And then I just remembered that, like, oh yeah, that was the thing that we talked about evening out. Okay, I pressed E once, and it made a clicking sound and didn't do anything, and I pressed E again, and then it did a thing. Yeah, Project Lead, Corzin, right here in chat. And also level design. And as I mentioned, Corzin also did a bunch of level design for Project Absentia. And yeah, the music, a combination of Malifaux and Primeval. And it's really interesting having, like, listened to the music in this from the early demo up through now, because, like, this theme that we're hearing right now, which is used in, like, E1M2, I think. And there's me in the testers, by the way. But originally, like, the very first demo for this, and maybe even the first early access, I don't remember if Malifaux came in later, like with Velvetic. But originally, this song was a MIDI by Jimmy. Which, of course, is, you know, what Jimmy has been known for years and years. He's currently, what, celebrating 20 years of being in the Doom community? Hey, Nextstick is in that list. Funny that, because guess what game we're gonna play next? Guess what game we're playing next that also has Johnny in it? It's only occurring to me now that, like, I could have gone for the trifecta and played Rack after Selaco. But I lined up Supplice. Everything is Doom related. Music is probably the smoothest thing that happened with Dev. Yeah. Yeah, I know I still have to play some more of the stuff that Prime worked on. Like, I know Prime has worked on a lot of the Ashes 2063 stuff, and I don't know whether I'm gonna like that or not. I think I remember watching Pixel Adder, formerly known as the Snake Pit, play some of that at some point. And I don't remember whether he was having trouble getting into it, or if, like, someone in chat was saying something about it, but, like, it sounded like it's, you know, quite its own different thing. But at this point, like, there are several installments in that series. So it seems like something I have to at least look at some point. I'm hoping to have time for Supplice. The plan is we're going to do Selaco immediately following this. That's what I'm going to transition to next. And then if there's time permitting, we're going to do the first level of Selaco, which is basically what the demo was back when they first released the demo. So we're going to do that, and then time permitting, we'll try to do a level of Supplice. But all of these games are quite lore-heavy and have pretty, well, especially in the case of Selaco and Supplice, have very big levels. In the case of this has plenty big levels too. Like, this playthrough right now was very streamlined, and I skipped a bunch of stuff. Like, I keep going back to underline just how expansive E1M2 especially was, and how I was blown away by this when I first played the demo of this, and was like, holy shit, it's GZDoom-based, but it's, you know, because back then, UZDoom hadn't forked yet. But I was like, it's GZDoom-based, but it's got really, like, frickin' zoomies movement, and also backtracking like a frickin' Metroid Prime game or something. Your opinions on Selaco are significantly less complex than your opinions on Supplice. I find that slightly ironic just because Selaco is probably the much more complex game out of the two. But I also don't know whether that's good or bad. I will say that Supplice's difficulty seems brutal. Although, honestly, so does Selaco's. I played Selaco when it first released, right before they did a frickin', like, balance patch to make armor a little more durable and stuff. And also, I might have made the mistake of playing on what is technically the hard difficulty. I will probably still die a lot playing it tonight anyway, but we'll transition to that. But yeah, Selaco is, like, the most full-fledged GZDoom-based modification, to the point where, like, you need to remind people and yourself while playing it that it's GZDoom, because the UI has the most complete overhaul that you will ever see in a GZDoom game. Yeah, well, I feel like part of that probably is just because of the sheer size of levels in Supplice, and they get really big, especially in Episode 3, from what I seem to recall. Supplice, the thing that I say about Supplice is that aesthetically it reminds me of Blake Stone, and I am a sucker for Blake Stone's aesthetic. It feels like the marriage of Blake Stone and Doom aesthetically to me, but then it also has, like, a very Marathon aspect in terms of its lore, I feel like, from my limited understanding of only having played a fraction of Marathon. You know, the original Marathon, not this stupid frickin' extraction shooter slot bullshit that's going on now for whatever reason that they did with it, and added AI-generated art that I think allegedly they've ripped out of it, but, like, yeah, they were stealing art assets for the new Marathon originally, so, like, that alone is enough reason for me to shitlist it. But also, I'm not really an extraction shooter, you know, / team shooter enjoyer. So. But, yeah, let me take a break, and, we'll get to Selaco next and see if we have time for Supplice after that. But both definitely have tons of merits, and, like, they're both really exciting projects. And so is this one. This one goes on sale pretty often in the regular recurring Steam sales and whatnot. And obviously there's going to be more to this game than there is. I mean, that's true of all three of the games that I might be playing tonight if I have time for all of them. It's like, they're all in early access. There's going to be more of it. Episode 2 is going to be even bigger, because I think, what was the deal with this? Originally it was going to be 3 episodes, but now it's just going to be 2, but episode 2 is like a whopper. But yeah, this game is pretty darn cool in my book. And again, I undersold the heck out of, like, how much backtracking and exploration there is in it. So if you like shooters with a lot of exploration, go check this game out. There's also, the demo's still up, right? And you can play, like, roughly the first half of, well, the first half of the levels, I guess, in the demo. You can get a really good sense from the first 3 levels, though. Let me take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll play Selaco when we get back. Alright, we're back. Oh, I need to reset my timer. We're back for game 2 of the indie GZDoom / UZDoom-based game block. And we're looking at Selaco, which I feel like this gets described pretty often as, like, almost an MSim type of thing, just with, like, how much interactivity there is. There's tons of lore, there's tons of, like, ways to approach things. The combat is quite different than it would be in traditional Doom, or, you know, Doom-based mods and whatnot. And the devs have been super busy, as you can see by all of these patch notes. Although I think now they've probably been, like, far busier. That's a typo, isn't it? That's probably supposed to be 2026, because otherwise December came before March of the same year. This is, like, European format. I think they've been pretty heavily into Episode 2 development, but also they've been overhauling Episode 1, and I think they sent out a form for a round of playtesting for that recently, which I think I was pretty late on realizing that form existed, so... And also they got, like, I don't know, several hundred submissions, so I don't necessarily expect to be taken up on that one. But if they happen to need a Linux tester... I mean, when I first played this game in 2024, when the early access first launched, I was playing in Linux, and this does have a native Linux build. They're jealous of these patch notes, not the contents, but that they exist in a form that players can easily see. Yeah, going back to what I was saying about just how ridiculous the amount of work on the UI is, like, if you just look at this UI, especially, like, let's go into the options and look at all of this stuff, and all of these custom controls and shit, like, Corzidin and anybody else who has worked on modding GZDoom, UZDoom, whatever, will tell you that menus are an absolute chore and a half to revamp. They take so much work. And these are... This is the most comprehensive reskin of GZDoom's menus that I have ever seen, by a long shot. And there's, like, so much stuff in here, too. There's, like, previews of things in some places. Like, you know, to understand what near-death vignetting is, it shows you the red around the edges and stuff. When you first launch the game, it asks you a couple of questions that, like, sort of give you a preset in terms of what's on and off here. I'm not going to go through all the settings. If you want to see all the settings that existed when they first launched this in early access, go watch my 2024 playthrough. Like, there is literally an hour at the beginning of the playthrough that is labeled, like, menu appreciation, because there's so much stuff in this game. We're gonna jump into the campaign. The one thing that I'm kind of mad about is... Special campaign is locked for me, and it says unlocked by completing the campaign without cheats. I did that. I did it 2 years ago, but I did that. So why is this locked for me? I feel kind of cheated by that. Although I might be able to, like, go into one of my save files and just beat the end of it again. Because, like, if I go to load game here, there's a bunch of autosaves and quick saves. That even says end game, so I might be able to just, like... reload that? I wonder if I could do that. Not that I want to spoil that right now. Yeah, I kind of don't want to spoil it, but if I don't want to spoil it, I probably have to just rely entirely on autosaves for the time being. Yeah, the autosaves are all already, like, overwritten anyway. So I guess we'll work from those and a manual save if I need to. You had to rebeat the campaign too. I will probably wait until, like, the game is fully fleshed out. I forget whether they're still aiming for late this year, or if it's next year that they're planning for that to come to fruition. Alright, Corzidin, yeah, thanks for hanging out for the back half of Relentless Frontier, you know, your own game. Glad you could be here for that. Let's jump into a new campaign. I am going to not make the mistake of playing on Commander, which I'm pretty sure is what I played on last time. We're going to play on Lieutenant to increase the odds that I actually finish the first level tonight. You're very greedy. Alright, let me start the timer. I might not read all of the lore we come across in here either, because there's a lot of it, but I'll at least read a couple. But yeah, does this look like GZDoom to anybody? Because, yeah. It's got like Doom 3 style interactive stuff, like as soon as you get into the game. I picked up money and things exploded. I'm pretty sure that's how capitalism works. Like, I could not have timed that better. Wait, what? Why can't I I should be able to... There we go. Wilson! It's actually named Wilson. I didn't remember it was named Wilson. So at this point, we don't have weapons yet. I can't believe we're not playing Blood. Also, I think I have the tutorial messages turned off. Because there would be tutorial messages about, like, crawling through vents and stuff like that. Either that or it's because I played this earlier today to make sure it worked. Yeah, so by the way, just because I'm unarmed doesn't mean they're not still going to try to kill me. They will actually try to do that if I don't keep moving. You are on fire and taking burning damage over time. That should be 2 words. That's because I completely forgot to, like, turn off the valve over there. There is actually a valve that you're supposed to interact with to turn that off, and I just completely spaced out. Look at, like, the animation of the crosshair as you zoom in and out. And there's, like, kill confirm icons and stuff. Like, on the crosshair. There is also an option to aim down sights, but I find that that's, like, harder to see with, so I turned that off, because it's a thing you can turn off in this game. And there's, like, a reload chirp, and there's, like, an indicator below the reticle on the HUD. I have no idea what that did. You can turn off monitors. You can drink things. She does the I can't believe it's not Metroid Prime shielding her eyes thing. So, by the way, I do have reduced screen shake on. There's several levels. I think you can turn it off completely, but right now it's on reduced. A lot of times there is green signposting of things. Keep moving you forward. And I think a new thing they did is they changed the lighting once you've been through it to make it no longer stand out. Oh, you're not dead. Yeah, the problem is he woke up right before I bopped him. Because you do normally get a tutorial message about, like, killing from behind, like instant kills. Alright, we did get that key right there, so we can go through that. Can I leave anything else over here? I probably shouldn't worry about leaving stuff around places because I'm bound to not get everything. There was something shining in here though, wasn't there? Oh no, that was just frayed cables or something. Okay. And you'll notice that right now we're not super mobile, but that's because Dawn doesn't have her full combat gear yet. I'll be working on that. Oh shit. And that chirp you're hearing is a PDA in here, which if you press caps lock brings you into this entire menu, which, like, again, this is GZDoom, reminder, but this is a completely, like, custom, almost Doom 3-esque UI within a source port of the original Doom, which is just mind-boggling. And there's a passcode in here, again, just like Doom 3. I'm sure you've noticed by now that the passcode for the patient effects lockup has been changed. Despite being under constant surveillance and under lock and key, we had reports of a few things going missing. I reset the passcode to 1432 and we'll leave it up to you to set a new passcode so you're the only one with that information. In the future, I would ask that you don't give anyone else the code, no matter the circumstances. If you have to take a day off, please change the code back to 1432 temporarily. I'll pass that along to your substitute for the day, and we'll expect you to change it again upon returning to work. Our patients expect their belongings will be held with the utmost security, and we can't have this sort of thing happen again. And then we need to use that here. And now we get our full combat gear and also the Roaring Cricket. So now, we can additionally dash to the side and slide. I actually just go out the way I came in here? I guess I do. Oh yeah, because now we can go in there. Thought I heard dudes. Where are the dudes? Well, that dude is no longer duding. Yeah, the amount of feedback you get when you hit things in this is pretty great. Also, I think one of the more recent news updates actually involved a pretty much complete retooling of the enemy AI in terms of like how they approach the player. Clear breadcrumb trail of armor shards here. Lenders. 2 Pathfinder Memorial Department Heads. The past month has been trying on all of us here at Pathfinder Memorial, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. I've been informed by the top brass over at the Aces Prison Infirmary that they will be discharging the doctors and nurses we've sent them to handle their overflow of patients. I'm going to give them the weekend off to get their bearings after the heavy workload, but after that you can expect to be fully staffed again for the first time in weeks. A heartfelt thanks goes out to all of you for shouldering this burden. You've selflessly given your all for the greater good of Selaco, and it cannot be understated how integral each and every one of you is to this community. So yeah. Tons of lore in this game. And this game goes through, it evolves several times. Oh yeah, also it has usable medkits. Like, almost Blood-like, except that I think Blood's medkits are like a full 100. Whereas these, I think, are 25 or something. No, I have not watched a speedrun of this, and I really should, because it must be wild. Oh, I can toss a fire extinguisher, huh? Okay. Now is probably not the best time to do that, actually.
This area is in lockdown. Remain where you are and wait for further instructions.
Oh, okay, it won't explode on impact. I think that actually just, like, yeah, cuts power here. I'm not sure what exactly it cuts power to. Anyway, I'm dawdling and I shouldn't be doing that right now. I need to try to fast-track this playthrough. For reference, I had one of the slowest playthroughs known to mankind of the first episode of this when it launched. Because, like, people were saying, like, you know, this is about 8 hours or something. I took 24. There's a lot of shit to look at in this game. It is an extremely interesting game. Oh, right. So here you get the tutorial for sliding. You're dead. Did that not wake up everybody else? Of course it did. So if you get them by surprise, they are one shot. So those guys with the different armor are, in fact, different enemies. Do we actually have... We don't have, like, info on the enemies at this point. I forget if we get those. You do get invasion tiers, and this is one of the ways in which the game evolves, is that enemies get new abilities. I think I can have, like, 3 medkits at once, tops. The holy hand grenade of Antioch. Wait, no, the frag grenade. Those large amounts of direct and collateral damage upon detonation. Once thrown, the detonation timer of the grenade starts as soon as the grenade is stationary. And that dismissed because I pressed E to pick up something else. I think there might actually be, like, something to use the grenade on here. I don't remember. I might be imagining things. I'm not going to worry about it for the time being. There are plenty of secrets in this, and I'm probably not going to get, like, any of them. Wait, okay, I was worried that I was going backwards before, but... Yeah, that hints at somewhere you need to be later. Yeah, this isn't backwards, this is forwards.
See someone acting suspicious?
Yeah, like everybody I've shot so far. I would call them suspicious for shooting at me. See someone acting suspicious? Shoot them in the fucking head until they stop acting suspicious. Yeah, that's an autosave for a reason. Dude's doing a wiggle over here. Oh, that was a waste. Comic book. Galaxy Hunter. Free poster. Last issue. Will the rebels triumph? Never forget Earth Memorial Day.
This area is a knockdown. Remain where you are and wait for further instructions.
Oh, I can't get into it. But yeah, like, just look at how much freaking, like, there's details everywhere. You know, you got, like, streamers because there was some kind of celebration in here. Oh, you got mirrors. You've got door controls that probably don't work because this seems kind of busted. Space Globe, more 3D than your life. Revenant bus. You can open and close the garbage cans. You can, sort of interact with the toilet.
Remain where you are and wait for further instructions.
Hey, there's health in that one. That elevator seems a little bit out of it. Alright, there's more health there too. Yeah, see, like, if I were playing on the next difficulty up, I would be running low on health all the time. The game actually does have a mechanic where if you're lower than 35 health, as long as you stop getting hit for a while, it will bring you back to 35 health. I found that out a lot in my first playthrough. You shot my bucket. Okay, it wasn't a bucket. All sorts of billboards and stuff. What could possibly go wrong? Watch your oxygen. Yeah, it's at the bottom center. I think there was like a chirp sound when you're low on oxygen too. And then, okay, hang on, let's appreciate this again. When you come out, there's water droplets on your visor. And also, like, you can hear the chirping sound got detuned when we're underwater, so they did that too. Well, I already figured out the flashlight bit. Oh, all of these are actually new that I hadn't read yet. In the last 2 weeks, we have had 2 patients pass away after successful routine surgery. I personally assisted on both of these surgeries, and both patients were in stable condition and recovery when they died. I've gone back and looked at their charts after the fact and found their deaths have been listed as complications from surgery. This is a blatant lie. I can't get a straight answer from anyone, and at this point I'm tired of asking. One time could be called a fluke, but twice in so many weeks is the beginning of a pattern. We do everything we can for our patients here, and for them to go from healthy and recovering to dead with no clear cause is a shock. I'm not going to point fingers, but being the department head of nanosurgery, I wanted to inform you of the discrepancy. Cole, thank you for your concern. I've reviewed the charts and medical history of both of the patients in question, and while the surgeries may have been successful, I have no doubt they died of complications. Yada yada yada. And then he sends an email off to Tom Lenders. I've been holding the line as instructed, but this is getting out of hand. Members of my team are starting to ask questions, and I'm sure you're going to start getting emails from some of them soon. I've spoken to other department heads and know this has nothing to do with the nanobots in my department. Every department is suffering this loss of life, and so far there's nothing connecting the deaths. From what I can gather, it's less than a half-dozen deaths in each department. But people are going to start to connect the dots. What are we doing about this? What can we do about this? I need some answers here, and so do our staff and patients. I know this isn't your fault, Tom, but I'm running out of things to tell people. Hey again, Josh. Yeah, I took a couple of breaks, but yeah. Latham, I put a repair kit through the proper channels and haven't gotten a response, so I'm messaging you directly. Our backup generator needs repair and it simply can't wait. It does run, so there's no need to replace it, but it takes far too long to kick on when there's a loss of power. That's gonna be a key component in a bit. So yeah, we've got lore foreshadowing. Now, I believe that's where we actually go. I want to double check that I didn't miss anything down the other side here. Oh, there was bullets there. Okay. Assault rifle rounds. Alright, next level transition. Pay no attention to the very loud clomping. I said we were gonna have Gianni again. Here he is. Alright, wait, if that's where we come out, what was in the other direction? Can I not go down there? There we go. Ah. Worth. Oh, yeah, right. Your flashlight has limited energy. Also, I should move my head because I'm blocking the health display completely. If I just move myself a little bit to the right, I can probably, like, be in between the two somewhat. Hang on, let me do one other thing. Just make it a little less awkward. Tiny bit more. That's a little better. Right. I was waiting for the flashlight to recharge. Now I remember. Okay, I actually don't need that health right now. Yeah, so whatever's clomping around up there, having an impact on the lights down here. I hear PDA chirping, but it might be inside of there. This is Selaco. It doesn't show here. I would have to go back to the title screen to get it. I don't know if YouTube YouTube has a field for what game I'm playing, but I don't know if it displays it prominently. You might have to, like, scroll down a bunch for it or something. Oh yeah, another nice thing is you can partially deplete ammo pickups, so you don't have to worry about, like, wasting ammo pickups if you're nearly full. Oh, right. And there's cabinet cards. And I think isn't there a cabinet, like, right near here to use that on? Oh, yeah, there's two right here. And one is ammo-related, one is armor-related. I'm inclined to take the armor one, but I kind of don't need either one too bad right now. Camera feeds always point at something that might be of interest, even when that might not seem to be the case at first glance. You can view camera feeds in full screen by interacting with the monitor. Which monitor did I pass and I wasn't paying attention? Because clearly that's saying that for a reason. Oh, probably these. Remember that thing I read about the generator? About how long it takes to kick on? That wasn't too long. I'm just gonna get back here. There's someone trying to flank. The heck is it? There he is. That's one of the things that the update says. Like there are some ways in which the enemies have been rebalanced, but one of the ways in which they're arguably, like, potentially more aggressive is their pathfinding. And the update says they will get to you. Yeah, so that was about that, actually. I've stored the spare parts for your MRI machine in the lockup at the end of the hall. By the way, there is a secret involving an MRI machine, and I may end up unwittingly skipping it. Passcode is 5478. So is that... Oh, right. Oh, they decided to move up. Okay. Yeah, there's a thing down here. I remember... So, this is also interesting. You're allowed to, like, pull barrels so that, like, if you get them lodged into a corner, you can still get them out. But yeah, so this is something that I remember, like, kicking myself about when I first played, because I didn't realize that this wall was here. So that's what a secret sounds like when you get a secret. I found 1 of 9 in this particular area. And we found Waifu Doom. Interestingly, while we're allowed to turn off these monitors, we can't turn that off. The interesting thing about that barrel was, even though I shot it, it still exploded on a timer. Whereas in Relentless Frontier, the explosives will explode on a timer if you melee them, but if you shoot them, they explode immediately. Of course, the idea being, like, to give you time to get the hell out of Dodge if you realize you screwed up. Alright, what was it? Yep, that's what it was. We have in here a transcript, and we have it's funny, we had a mushy conversation, a DM between a couple in Relentless Frontier's critical path tonight, and we have a mushy transcript in Selaco as well. The sadistic glee in those red eyes. They'll get no such satisfaction at our expense. I was able to grab a gun from the body of a soldier before I shut us in here. I hope it's a small comfort knowing we didn't fall into their hands. Yeah, so this weapon is fun, but you don't get as much ammo for it. Heard another chirp. I do appreciate that there's like icons above ammo and glowing lights above other things so that it's easier to... That was a thing that got added in an update, if I recall correctly. I did hear another chirp though, right? Another thing that I think they added was... Yeah, see the circle around the purple door there? One of the recent updates said something about adding waypoints like that. Oh, did I? I did not go in here. I've just got the projected distribution numbers for our medkits, and I have to assume there's been some sort of mistake. Obviously, Gwynco would be supplied with an ample stock, but nearly 80% of our first production line seems insanely steep. Yeah, so a lot of their crap's getting poached. The numbers you've been quoted are indeed correct. We will be supplying at least 78% of our medkit production line to Gwyn. And not just the first run. We're locked in at those numbers for the foreseeable future. It's the AI Bros speculative data center construction all over again. Every game has a worse backdrop in 2026 because the rest of the real world has gotten demonstrably worse. Thanks, I hate it. What do you mean it's been a while? I've been here all day. You just said that. I'm gonna be on all week. I will literally be on again tomorrow. Took a lot of doing, buddy, but we got there. I really don't think we could squeeze anything more out of the equipment, but we're currently sitting at 11.2% faster medkit production. I know you only asked for 10%, but I'm a generous guy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass. This shit is dangerous. If you're going to be running it at full speed, you need to keep your people the fuck away from it. One wrong step and it's going to take a lot more than one of those medkits to put them back together again. The equipment should hold up just fine under the added stress, just don't slouch on the routine maintenance. You can thank me over dinner, alright? Sal's at 8 p.m. tonight. All this extra work sure has made me thirsty. So don't forget your wallet. What's in your wallet? So this is interesting, because this is the first hint you get of security doors.
Security clearance denied.
Or at least of upper-tier security doors. So this is your first hint of Metroidvania in Selaco. Selaco not only has backtracking, it has a freaking fast travel system. They implemented a rail system in Selaco, and it's freaking awesome. Well, you said it yourself before, Josh. I've been here basically all day. If you mean on what's happening on stream, we finished Ultimate Doom before, all 4 episodes. Played the entirety of the first episode of Relentless Frontier. I did a pretty streamlined playthrough because I've speedrun the game before. And now we're on Selaco, and if time permits, I want to do, we're going to do 1 level of this, and then I'd like to do 1 level of Supplice. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the time for it, though. And then tomorrow's going to be Quake all day. Turns out that in a couple months from now, it's Quake's 30th anniversary, so it's kind of a good time for me to play through it again anyway. I haven't played vanilla Quake in several years at this point. Alright, where the hell am I? I should be paying attention to the map. I ran right by the door that I was supposed to go through. It's up here. Easy to miss because of the stairs.
Can you put a price on the way you've done it, or
Yeah, that guy wasn't quite dead yet. weapons in this game are really good. In general, they feel really good to use. Oh, we got dripped on, so there were droplets on the visor again. Got more PDA chirps. Oh, and now we've got the congratulations on somebody's baby. Going to have your hands full in the coming weeks. So, if there's anything we can do to help, please contact me directly. And while I'm sure you won't have the time straight away, please do keep in mind that the birth of your son grants your family a larger apartment to avoid any growing pains. When you're ready to make the move again, do not hesitate to contact me so we can get you all set up. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm skipping some of the logs in terms of fully reading them in the interest of time. So that just opened that door. Whoops, right. Move to leave camera feed. It does say that at the bottom to remind you every time. I tend to forget where exactly this door is. I believe it's down here. Yep, there we go. More armor. And armor is additive, it stacks. So we just went from 14 to 39. I assume they're in there? Oh, they're all over the place. Hi. They're also behind me. I'm going to die. Well, there's the first death of the playthrough. We just got an autosave right here, though, I think? Yeah. Oh, this is this section. Okay. Yeah, that explains why I died so quickly. This section has enemies everywhere. And they do kind of lock you in. He just did a dash. That reminds me, I should be doing dashes. My armor's gone. In spite of getting more of it. It was only a green armor, though. Wait, is there another one in here? Oh, no, that was a door switch or something. I do have 2 medkits, though. I gotta remember that. Yeah, this place gets pretty gnarly in terms of... Oh, right, because there's a turret over there, too. Can I hork this guy's turret? Or is it it's automated? And I just disabled it. I thought I could take it over, but I guess not. Wait, did it just re-engage? No, okay. I thought I heard something. There's window controls, like, everywhere. Am I supposed to be upstairs or downstairs? Probably upstairs, actually. Oh, wait, no. Is it... I forget what's down here. I think there's a way to, like, raise this. And then it lets you get to more stuff upstairs. Oh. Should I be able to make this jump? Wait, oh, there's a way to... Yeah, there's a proper way to climb across this. And they're showing it to you right there. You do have ledge grabs to an extent. There you go, that works. Uh-oh, yeah. Autosave again. Appreciate that. I shouldn't be down here now. That guy was right behind me. the smoke can kind of get in the way sometimes, and the funny thing is the smoke is customizable in terms of like how quickly it dissipates. It is worth pointing out that fear is definitely a inspiration behind this game, if you couldn't tell already. Used a med kit. Okay, that actually gave me like 50, I think. Also, wow, I'm out of frickin' ammo for that. Okay, that gives me some. It does give you an out of reserves beep as well. Alright, this is where I was earlier. So the cake and all the streamers were presumably to celebrate the new baby. We're just gonna eat all the cake. Stay hydrated. I mean, okay. I still have full ammo for this. Is there a good place to use? Oh, it's lined up where there's a place to use it. I guess that's kind of just a convenience explosion. It doesn't actually lead to anything secret. I have played a whole lot of Quake, so that's another thing that you can find an entire playlist full of on my channel. It's called Better Quake Than Never, because basically I started playing a whole bunch of custom, like, community packs in 2021 through 2023, and a few more since then. Alright, where am I supposed to be going now? Oh, that's breakable. Oh, I should have used the explosive there. I don't know if a grenade will work or not. I guess I could try one. Oh, that did work. Okay. And that's a security pass. So if we find a security level 1 door, we're set. So far, we only found a security level 3 door. Where am I supposed to be going, though? Right, okay, the yellow door is all the way the heck back out there. I just need to remember to trace my way back through everything now. Yeah, they do have the, Oh, remember the generator thing? Yeah, It kicked the bucket again. And it's back. I will say, if I know what's good for myself, I should probably actually lower the music volume, because now it's overpowering the actual sound effects. But it's also good, so... like, this game has a good soundtrack. Oh, we're hearing the clomping again. Oh, you know what? That's a level 1 door. We can open that. Capacity upgrade for the assault rifle. Capacity increased by 30, and it immediately gave me 30 ammo also, but that means, like, the max ammo increased. So we don't want to go through there. This time we want to go through... here. Yep, okay. We will probably get an autosave the moment we go through there. Maybe not quite the moment we go through here. Sure. Oh man, how much stuff did I find here? Oh, this is actually... We do have lore on our, Right, I forgot there's this sub-menu here. Which explains all of our weaponry. So you've got diagrams and specifications for all your weapons. And all of your consumable items. And also the protective armor. And then each of the areas is... Like, the data logs are separated per area. Oh, and then there's also... Right, there's Dawn's own personal email, which is here too. So, there's more backdrop lore here as well. Effective immediately, your rank in ASIS is upgraded to Captain, along with all the rights and privileges due to said rank. Your hard work and diligence in protecting the people of Selaco has been essential to keeping our community happy and safe and has more than earned the promotion. You've gone above and beyond the call of duty time and again, and I'm proud to call myself your commanding officer. We'll discuss all the details tomorrow at HQ. Until then, get back to work, maggot. Head journalist for the Selaco today. Wants an interview because Dawn got promoted. Of course, you will be supplied with all the proposed questions beforehand and have the final veto for any you'd rather not. You're either not at liberty to answer or any you'd just rather not get into. Dawn, hopefully you're allowed to see this. Shit is going to hell and there's no way I'm making it to the hospital to check in on you. I'm just going to assume you're too damn stubborn to die. When you get out of there, make your way to the workshop. I left one of our comms there for you, along with a special little surprise. Don't worry about me, I'll be around. Is that where we are now, actually? No, the workshop is talking about the place that eventually also opens up to the fast travel, but the fast travel opens up later. This game is super interesting because, like I said, it's got backtracking and it's also got like progression in terms of the types of amenities that are available to the player as you get further and further into the episode. And this is the record of why Dawn is in the hospital to begin with. Strained hamstring and quadricep. Full spectrum of tests for possible hereditary degenerative muscle disease. Admitted herself with a suspected broken leg. X-rays revealed no broken bones, while an MRI revealed a severely strained hamstring and quadricep. Citing her mother's medical history, Ms. Collins requested a full spectrum of tests for possible hereditary degenerative muscle disease. Displays no physical symptoms of muscle disease. All scans have come back negative, and coupled with her blood work, she is in near perfect health aside from the initial strains. She's been kept overnight for a round of nanotherapy to quickly heal her leg. At the patient's request, she will undergo the same series of tests once a year in conjunction with her mandatory ASIS physical. We came in from there, right? So we're going out that way. Has a very green screen. Burgers. Oh, I didn't mean to be holding an object. Wait, why does it keep targeting the plate? I don't think I can eat the burger. I forget. I want to say there are certain food items that you can eat even above 100 health, and then there's some that you can't. Shells, huh? Exit unlocked. And now... here's Johnny. They're preparing us for a reason. I could have sworn one of these opens. It might be one that's, like, already green, though. Oh, there you go. It's sticking out slightly. Because I, like, ran into it. And also, yeah, now we're revisiting the area we were at earlier. I don't think do I want to go back up there? I don't think I want to go back up there. I think we want to go over there, don't we? Where the heck am I right now? There we go. I can't go through there, though. How do I get in there? There's armor in there. That would be nice. Maybe I do have to go back up there. The thing is, like, now we're in a level that has a whole bunch of, like, loading zones to other levels, or other maps within the level. Yeah, we can't seem to go back that way because of the lockdown, presumably. Although we disabled the lockdown in order to open the exit. It's kind of ironic that I'm getting confused now. Given that, like... Okay, let's go back up here. Yeah, this is where we're supposed to be. You can tell, because they just blew a hole in the wall. Oh, I think I walked away from him. Yeah, this is where we're supposed to fight him. Expected someone larger. Oh, well, shit. I'm just gonna always try to not be where he is. We got him. Now, the thing is, that is not a boss. That is not a unique boss. That is a recurring enemy. It's effectively the boss of the first level, though. Now, we got a bunch of weapon parts. Those will come into play when we do find the workshop. Although I don't think we'll be showing that off within the first level. But yeah, that hurt. There's the, oh, that seems like a new diagram. A new drawing of, a rendering of Dawn. I don't remember seeing that rendering. I feel like I'm less of a fan of this rendering of Dawn than, like, I feel like the old artwork was, I remember it being more stylized. This feels like almost a 3D model, basically. I honestly expected to get even fewer than 4 secrets, because I was mostly aiming to, like, finish the level in a reasonable amount of time, which we did. Oh, I never did open any of the storage cabinets. I could have gone back for one of those. But I felt like I didn't need them at the time. But again, you can come back to this level later and get more stuff. So you're not like locked out of doing more with this level later. But that was the first level, and it flows right into the second. Can we actually go right back? I don't think we can go right back now, but eventually, when we get fast travel, then you get the ability to go back to the first level, and there's like another wing of that lobby we were just in that opens up, and the fast travel is off of the new wing of that. I wonder if either of my save files from... I don't even know if I can load these, actually. Or if it'll, like, automatically downpatch if it does. Because, like, one thing that GZDoom, UZDoom-based games are kind of notorious for is saves... if anything gets modified in the map across patches, then saved games break. This game has gone out of it... Like, Selaco's devs have gone out of their way to mitigate that problem. I'm still going to be surprised if this loads. But let's test it. And also, let me see where the heck I am. I'm right next to a workshop, aren't I? Yeah. Just to show you what kind of stuff you end up having access to. This is your safe room. This is your workshop machine where you get to do all sorts of weapon upgrades and stuff. Like, look at all this stuff that you can elect to install that modifies various stats like recoil, spread, damage. There's also like, there's magazine size. There's features like increased likelihood of soldiers you killed to drop ammo. Increased pain chance when hitting enemies. More likely to stagger. And there's that for like every weapon has all these options for it. And that's just one of the things in the safe room. Initially, the workshop is the main thing you get access to. And that's what that email to, you know, that message to Dawn in the PDA alluded to. But then there's the safe room extension. Area under construction. Additional facilities forthcoming. Majima is working so hard. You've got a shooting range in here. I honestly forget the full details of that. And this is your fast travel. You go in here, and you push the button, and you have access to all the levels, including Pathfinder Hospital, as I was just mentioning. I don't remember there being 2 destinations, actually. They are 2 separate destinations, because you can see there's a different number of data pads and security cards and whatnot. So, yeah, you can eventually travel back there, I guess for the heck of it. Let's travel back to that one, so I can show you what I meant about how it opens another wing. Oh yeah, and we have to appreciate the full animation. Like, this is the kind of, like, out-of-this-world level of detail that this game frickin' does. And again, this is based on GZDoom, or UZDoom. I don't know if they're still on, like, an old version of GZDoom at this point, because I would imagine you would have to fork pretty damned hard to augment it to the extent that this game has augmented it.
You have arrived at your destination.
I forget if there's a way to skip the animation, actually. then if we go out of here, we end up in another safe room. And then the moment that we interact with this and step outside, this is the lobby that we were just in. And that's just over here. So, yep, you get to come back here later. Let me quit back to the title screen, so that those of you who didn't see the title screen get to see the title screen. But yeah, Selaco is just utterly astounding with the amount of stuff that they managed to do on top of GZDoom. It feels like a different game entirely, which like, there are, you know, with the sheer number of GZDoom or UZDoom-based games that are out there at this point, like, there are a fair few that do manage to feel significantly different. I mean, like, when we were playing Relentless Frontier, you saw that it had its own UI stuff going on. Malapataka has its own UI stuff going on. Not nearly to the ridiculous extent that this does. And, like, once you get into the game, like, I mean, it's fully custom enemies and weapons and environments and textures and everything, and music, and, like, they are total conversions, effectively. But, like, when it comes down to it, there are parts of it that still feel Doom-like. This game is the farthest from Doom-like I have ever seen a Doom-based game end up, you know, arriving at. And also, this game takes the cake for one of the most polished early access launches that I've ever seen. And, you know, like, sounded like Nextic was, you know, pretty, you know, understandably nervous at the first release, because you're not going to be nervous, but, like, again, the ridiculous amount of attention to detail that goes into this game just puts it on another level than the vast majority of games you see launch into early access. It's utterly ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not sure what the timeline is on this at the moment. I know, I want to say originally they were thinking late 2026, but I could be misremembering, and, you know, shit happens. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they're working into 2027 on the, release of Episode 2. I forget if this game also decided to combine episodes, actually. So, I mean, obviously, Relentless Frontier did that. I don't remember if Project Absentia was ever intended to be more than 2 episodes, but that also ended up being 2 episodes. Like, I'm pretty sure that is intended to be the full game. It feels like it closes, I mean, like, it reaches the resolution you would expect, so. We're ending up with a surprising number of 2-episode games, potentially. But yeah, no, there is no shortage of content in this if you want to do exploring and, you know, taking in all the sites and reading all of the lore. Like I said, I spent 24 hours playing the initial early access launch of this because I was just, like, looking at everything. And I still didn't find everything either. So yeah, this game is super impressive. It's already great if you want to play it in early access. And, you know, as I showed earlier, it gets constant updates, at least a couple per quarter, on average anyway. And they're hard at work, not only on episode 2, but also revamping the graphical details of episode 1. Like, they're doing a full-blown graphics overhaul. So it's gonna be, it's already great to see what they've come up with. It's gonna be great to see what they come up with in the final version. So I'm gonna stop yammering about Selaco right now. I figure I can spend at least an hour on Supplice. Let's do that. I'll take another break, and we will do Supplice as planned, and we'll see if I can get through a single level of that. I don't remember that very well. Both of these I played in, like, summer of 2024, I think. So it's been getting close. It's like 1 3/4 years since I played these. So Supplice has added one more episode since then, and I know development of that has probably gone a lot slower than they originally had hoped. I think they had hoped for all 6 episodes to be done by now, but what is there so far has been super impressive to see. I just certainly hope that things do eventually come to fruition and they round out the set. Because, I mean, like, 6 episodes of, like, super big maps with a lot going on in them is also pretty ambitious. That's another reason that it reminds me of Blake Stone, I guess, because Blake Stone was a 6-episode game back in, you know, back on the Wolfenstein 3D engine, where you did have games with 6 episodes between the two of those, ultimately. Anyway, we'll get to that in a few minutes. Alright, we're back. I need to reset the timer again, because we are rounding out the night with a level from Supplice. Supplice is another GZDoom-based project. This one, I feel, tries to stay a little closer to vanilla. It does still have, like, fully custom, you know, soundtrack, character likeness and voice, completely new weapons, completely new enemies. But something about it still feels very Doom. It feels very much like a modern take on something like Doom. But, as I mentioned earlier in this stream, it has a plot that reminds me quite a bit of, at least the little bit I played of Marathon. You know, there's AI shenanigans going on, which I'm sure will also be seen in a new light, given the amount of bullshit that insufferable AI bros have put us through in the last 2+ years. But yeah, it's a very interesting game, a very good-looking game. It can be pretty harsh, and we'll see that even starting out. And it does have a custom initial menu here, but once you get into the sub-menus, it's basically just subsets of GZDoom menus, so like at this point, it's clearly GZDoom. So this doesn't go nearly as all-out as Selaco does, or even Relentless Frontier at this point. I don't know if they have any thoughts of doing that. Yeah, so this is 0.4.0.4. I played 0.3.0. Either 6 or 8, I can't remember what. It's marked on my old videos from 2024 when I played it. So I guess they're basically incrementing the second digit every time that they add a new episode. And I guess their thought process with this kind of makes sense, actually. Like, it's weird. Anyone who works in programming is probably familiar with SEMVer, semantic versioning, which normally has 3 numbers. But when you're in the V0 range, the minor number acts like a major number, and the patch number tends to act like a minor number. So it kind of makes sense to have this extra number on the end here, so that you basically, like, the 4 is your major, but you're not at 1.0 yet, because the game isn't fully fleshed out yet. So I can kind of see why they probably did that. What we're gonna do... So what I have played of this before is I played the first 3 episodes, minus the secret map of the 3rd episode, which hadn't been released yet at the time. I'm probably just gonna play the first level of the 1st episode, because, like, especially narratively, that's gonna make the most sense, probably. And also, things get way more harsh as you get into the later episodes. Like, I seem to remember E2M1 being pretty dang harsh when I first played it. We'll play on normal. Oh yeah, get a load of the soundtrack immediately. So, this soundtrack is... if I remember correctly, this is basically a combination effort of Jimmy and Essel Forsham. Essel Forsham not only has done Doom soundtracks, but has also done visual novel soundtracks, so, like, she's a girl after my own heart at that rate, because, like, back 20+ years ago, when I had the choice, like, I was looking at 2 choices coming out of high school. Either go for music theory or go for and composition specifically. I never really wanted to be a performing artist so much. I always felt like that was a lot of pressure. But I was always super inspired by like RPGs and then visual novels when I had an online friend get me into those in the mid 2000s. So like writing music for visual novels was always kind of like the dream for me if I had gone down that path instead of computer science. So, like, I don't know. Composers like Jimmy and Essa Fortune are, like, the cream of the crop in the Doom community, and especially when you consider that Essa Fortune also has the experience on, like, the visual novel end of things. That's like, exactly... That's, like, super inspirational to me, if I were to ever go down that path again. I feel like I'm in the state now where it's kind of too late for me. You could argue it's never too late, but it would take a lot of time. I would have a lot of time to make up in terms of getting back into musical composition. Anyway, I've just been yammering for a minute, so I'm going to reset the timer, and we'll actually start playing the game. But, like, the music in this is so freaking good. Those actually clattered around for quite a while. So yeah, we immediately face opposition in the form of ranged enemies, but we only have a melee weapon to start with. Although, it's not entirely a melee weapon, as the game will clue us into in a few minutes. Just for climbing these stairs, we got a secret. Armor greatly reduces damage from attacks, but has limited durability. And also, these little things are health bonuses. They can heal over 100%. But yeah, basically we start with a super chainsaw immediately. They immediately remind you, hey, this is a Doom game, you've got an automap. Use an automap to locate objectives and other points of interest. There's a switch back here that I'm pretty sure we can't press. Okay. So, that's a shotgunner. You don't want to be close to that guy, so I actually just used the alt-fire. Both this game and Selaco have alt-fires. Actually, I mean, so does Relentless Frontier, but in Relentless Frontier you have to unlock them. Alright, and we've got our first terminal, so... I'm pretty sure this was a thing in Marathon 2, actually, meaning also, was lore via terminals. And you've got, like, custom protocols and stuff written down at the bottom. This is Director Obi Okonkwo. We are under attack by a hostile force of unknown origin. A colony-wide state of emergency has been declared. This is not a drill. No, I'm carrying a drill right now. The invaders attack on sight and do not react to any known means of communication. All active and reserve security personnel have been dispatched to protect colony citizens and secure strategic locations. Civilian personnel are ordered to form groups and proceed to the nearest emergency shelter. If a hostile entity is encountered, run or hide. Do not resort to other forms of self-defense unless absolutely necessary. All civilian personnel with prior medical or firearms training are ordered to assist security personnel within their capability, as directed by security. Error, connection interrupted. Error, socket exception in PTC comm alerts XBP line 63, routine terminal broadcast. Warn, retry timeout is 0, aborting reconnect attempt. Somebody knows programming who was involved in the lore for this. Oh, hello there. Pardon the interruption, but I require assistance, and you appear to be lucid. Error, bad format exception in PTC lib console XBP line 63 routine printf. Suspending process ID, error threshold exceeded. Before we speak further, you must reach the emergency shelter indicated on the map. You are in mortal danger, and it is difficult to enlist the aid of a corpse. I mean, true. Oh, more shotgunners. So, shockwaves are very effective against groups, but take some time to recharge. They do tell you about the alt-fire. Did I get all the shotgunners, though? That's the important question. I think so. No, I did not. That is a shotgunner. Just deleted like 20 health, at least. Oh, you know what they added? The armor bar has a number now. The problem is it's both a bar and a number, and the number is freaking hard to read. But one of the things that I, like, the one common complaint from my first playthrough was the armor was just the bar and not a number. But it's like, I feel like they need to just ditch the bar in the center so you can actually read the number. Like, that feels kind of half-assed. If lost, use the automap to navigate. It's almost like they found players getting lost a lot in this section, which I definitely did at one point as well. Back when I played. Although, actually, the worst thing was not this section, it was what comes after it. I thought I remembered there being an opening. Oh, the opening is here. There's another one. Yep, he just flipped me as I walked back there. I missed, really? Right, we're still over 100. But basically, you'll notice I've got ammo in the bottom right when I'm using this weapon that, like, recharges over time. That's what it was talking about with the shockwave. Whoops. So, the thing that you really need to notice when you first come in here is that this icon here that shows a lock. Alright, that immediately gave me 100 armor, 50% damage reduction. The thing is, we need to pay attention to this again when we come back from this terminal. I wasted literally 10 minutes of my first playthrough because I did not notice that this lock changes. Which is ironic because the second lock like that you encounter is literally right next to the terminal. It's like you look 45 degrees away without moving, and it's right there. That should have been their initial setup for locked things. I really kind of wish they would adjust that. Like, telling the player, by the way, you should look at the map, doesn't solve the problem if your signposting isn't great. So, Karen. Karen is who we're talking to. Hello again, null pointer exception in common XPP line 1346 routine get personnel name. You have made it to the shelter with all 4 limbs intact. This is commendable, considering the present circumstances. As my records indicate that we have not yet been formally acquainted, I believe introductions are in order. I am Karen, a scientific artificial intelligence assigned to the terraforming division of PTC Exocolony 56, Methuselah. My intended purpose is to analyze research data, generate predictive models for weather patterns and plant growth, and perform other essential functions for the colony's terraforming project. However, due to circumstances outside my control, my current primary directive is to oversee containment of the hostile alien entities assaulting the colony. I am not doing a good job. Methuselah is neither a military garrison nor a high-security compound, so defenses are scarce at best. Furthermore, I have been unable to coordinate resistance efforts to the best of my ability because the network connection between Halifax Geological Research Station, in which you and I currently reside, and the rest of the colony, in which you and I do not, has been severed. The irony of a highly advanced computer system being taken out of commission by a single faulty cable has been thoroughly analyzed. Nevertheless, I have a request. There is a high-bandwidth communications array in the station which will allow me to transfer myself to a less dysfunctional system, but it was decommissioned years ago and is likewise non-functional. Junior Technician Akari Nomura was dispatched to reactivate the system, but she has not yet completed the task, and is no longer responding to my attempts at communication. As you are the next available sapient creature in the vicinity, I must ask you to complete the procedure. Before proceeding any further, you must make your way to the arms locker indicated on the map and procure a weapon. Although your PTC-issued industrial pile bunker will suffice in close quarters, my records indicate that it is unwise to bring a drill to a gunfight. You don't say. I will contact you again once you are fully armed. Please try not to get brutally slaughtered until then. So again, I will remind people that this game was well into development long before the current wave of so-called AI bros co-opted the term AI into the meaningless bullshit that it is today. So think of this AI as something along the lines of, like, Vega in Doom 2016, or whatever was in Marathon that I don't remember the name of. you know, actually purely fictional AI. Which unfortunately is what AI bros use to color people's perception of AI when it's not, when Gen AI and LLMs are not capable of being correct whatsoever. They don't know what correct is. They just make up plausible sounding bullshit. Anyway, not gonna get onto that topic for too long. So now the thing here is, let me grab a couple of these. The thing that puzzled me for 10 minutes when I first played this game was I did not notice that this is now a different icon. Same color, different icon. I went looking everywhere else. And I was driving myself bonkers. And, like, there's really, like, you're not gonna know, it's not even colored differently on the map or anything. There is nothing to tell you that that is now usable when it was not usable if you tried to use it before talking to that. And what Karen says here doesn't say anything about this elevator suddenly becoming enabled. Or that this is, in fact, an elevator. I'm telling you that because I played the game before. So, yeah, I kind of had a really bad first impression with the level design here. And then once you get up here, you realize, oh, okay, so it was an up arrow because that elevator takes you up, and this takes you down. So, like, once you see that and use it, it makes sense, but discovering it for the first time is damn near impossible, in my opinion. We should save. Oh, none of my save games are here. That's weird, because it was syncing to the cloud before. Like, the reason why it took me a while to open this, because you might have heard a lull between the music of Selaco and this, was because Selaco had to do a whole bunch of cloud syncing. I actually don't know why it took as long as it did. I'm kind of worried about that. But this also wanted to synchronize with the cloud before I opened it, so I assumed it was going to pull down save files. No, it didn't. But also, I don't know if I would expect the save files to work, given that, you know, they're at V0.4 now. So we've got our Lost Souls equivalents, except they can also shoot. They have projectile attacks. This is not the only game that I have seen Lost Soul equivalents that also have projectile attacks. Can I destroy this? No. Okay. That guy has definitely seen better days. Oh, jeez, I'm getting barfed on and shot at and everything all at once. You guys don't die to a single shockwave. Okay. Actually, the crazy thing is, like, the strings in this music, the combination of the strings and the guitar here make me think of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And, like, that is fucking high praise. But again, I'm not surprised, given that SL Fortune has scored not only Doom wads, but also visual novels. Like, it makes sense. But also, I don't know exactly... I got the impression that, like, to some extent it was like Jimmy did composition and then SL Fortune did arrangement. Oh yeah, you're not the first person to call them Langoliers on my streams, actually. I don't remember if it was Dead Camper or someone else when I first played this in 2024. So now we can activate this shortcut. But where the heck am I actually going? We're following the breadcrumb trail here. Also, I will fully admit that some parts of this game seem extremely dark to me. This part is an example of that. That's why I bring it up. Alright, we've got our next terminal here. You might have noticed the thing that I just glanced at, but we're going to wait until I read the terminal, because the terminal is going to explain those things. Hey, does anyone know how to bypass one of these ETX bulkhead locks? Need to reboot the secondary router, but I tripped some kind of alarm and locked myself out of the Karen core. Again. So, this is, This is from Nomura, which is the person that Charon just mentioned to us. And it also has, like, abbreviations of pronouns. Kind of useful. For anyone who's gonna, you know, do some attempt at voice work while playing it. I shouldn't call what I do voice work. That seems like a stretch. Got the panels open, but the breaker boxes are sealed in some kind of plasteel casing, and I can't check the schematics because the dock server's down. More work for me later. Yay. Any advice? I think these are fail open, so I guess I could take a drill to the box, but I'd rather not lose my job over a damn door. If you could send someone down, that'd be great. Mech work isn't really my thing. Bump. Damn, 15 minutes and no replies? Stocknet servers are up. I checked. Networking is literally my thing. And no way you crumbs are all offline. Klaxons are making my ears bleed and I'm stuck in your cave. Please get off your crane and help so I can go home. Fuck it, I'm getting a drill. So, yep, that is your clue to use drill. It's super effective. Shiny floor. Run forward at full speed to leap across small gaps. And there is our weapon. And there's our shooting gallery. Also, if you think this weapon reminds you of Dark Forces, yeah, me too. Let's hit the other one. So, this one, you need a weapon, but actually I think this might work. That does work. It also pushed me back, because I guess it hit the boxes as well. But yeah, it's awfully nice to have a weapon now. Some enemies drop ammo when defeated, like they just did. Yup. Excellent. Your chances of survival have increased by a statistically significant margin, though I will refrain from sharing exact figures to prevent a critical loss of morale. Thanks. Now for some good news. Although the full activation procedure for the communications array is rather complex, Technician Nomura has already completed the most technically intensive tasks. Now for some less good news. The remaining steps involve a jump through enemy-occupied territory. Firstly, you will need to reboot the primary network router. Given the circumstances, I would recommend power cycling the entire unit via the master breaker switch shown on the map. This will resolve the matter in seconds, though it may also alert nearby hostiles to your location. If this outcome seems undesirable, consider it a valuable training opportunity. As you are not a security officer, obtaining the relevant permissions to undergo firearms training would be prohibitively difficult under normal circumstances. Next, proceed to the surface and find the communications hub in the main facility. The exterior doors require a security key to open, but you should be able to borrow one from any on-duty security personnel, or their corps. Once you are inside the facility, use the terminal indicated on the map to complete the connection process. There is a 36% chance that you will need to find a second security key to enter the hub, depending on whether the technician on duty remembered to lock the door when they left. Unfortunately, it appears that the wireless transponder in your Gen 2 terraforming suit is several revisions out of date, meaning it no longer supports the networking protocol used by the majority of the colony's subsystems, including myself. In other words, we will only be able to communicate via hardwire terminals like the one you are reading this message on. I mean, honestly, that's a good thing, otherwise I would never get any work done. This should not pose a problem in practice, as I possess the ability to track your precise location at all times and override any terminal's content at will. Yeah, I'm not worried about that part at all. Fortunately, your suit's automap uses a comparatively simple data transfer protocol, so I will be able to remotely add objective markers to pinpoint the exact location of any required tasks. In addition, your map will automatically record the location of terminals, security doors, and other notable points of interest. Should you find yourself lost, your map is your most valuable ally, or so I am told. I know my precise location relative to the planet's surface at all times. That is all for now. I will contact you again at the communications hub once you have restored the array to working order. I would wish you good luck, but I lack sufficient data to prove the existence of such a concept. What is this? Oh, that was the thing telling me to drill the things. Right, okay. Right, and again, this is the example I was talking about where this is actually right next to the terminal as opposed to the first instance where you have to go back down a hall and look down all the little side paths. So there was another shootable one there. I think that opened that, and I kind of didn't mean to do it as soon as I did it. So that one you almost definitely do need this weapon for. So this is pretty cool looking. Okay, here's the problem. I can't see you guys. The room is actively distracting now. Don't let the shotgunners do any shooting. Let's look around before I hit any switches. Also, yeah, let's actually look at the map for a bit. So, like, yeah, you can see a terminal there. That's this one, I guess. So this is a chat log between Nomura and... I never know how to pronounce these names correctly. Hey, just finished the hardwire inspection. It's worse than I thought. Worse how? Well, not worse as in more broken. Just need to do a full reboot and turn on the backup dish. That'll fix it. It's just... Here, I'll upload a pic to the shared drive. Thanks, Sochnet. We're literally in space, but can't add images to DMs. Okay, upload finished. What do you make of it? The hell? Which cable is that? All of them. Well, I only checked the primary and secondary routing centers, but same story for both. Got any idea what could cause that kind of mechanical failure? Yeah, bolt cutters. Okay, so it's not just me. Somebody definitely cut the cables. Christ. Not really my field, but I didn't see any other signs of tampering. It's just the high-density I/O connections. Low-dens still works, otherwise we wouldn't be talking. Everything else I've tried responds to ping, it's just the AI commands. So someone specifically tried to take Charon offline. Yup. Got any idea who would do that? Not a goddamn clue, unless you're making an accusation. Either way, we need to contact security about this. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to clue you in first, but, like, think. What's the hot topic on SOCNET recently? I hope you're not seriously implying that Dr. Akaria would sabotage her own research AI. Oh, not Siren, but probably someone who hit like on her post. That doesn't even remotely narrow it down. Last thing we need is another Union witch hunt. It's not our job to find the culprit or even speculate. You know better. But security is going to want the access logs. Can do. We'll pull them. Well, after I fix the damn connection, I guess. Yeah, keep working on that. I'll contact security. Either way, keep me posted. Hi, Cap. Oh, these guys. Okay. Yeah, they do a zoom. Alright, that isn't active. I don't know if it will be active later. Hold to zoom. Oh, right, and it burst fires. A highly accurate 3-shot burst when zoomed. I don't think this game has headshots. We could try to platform across that. I guess that's what we're doing, because we're not going that way. Who else is shooting at me? Oh, it's actually giving me, like, a dot sight as well. What? There's another dude over there, too. I don't know. I'm getting sniped from places, and I can't see what's doing the sniping. Okay, that's to lead you to that. That probably, yep, raises a bridge of sorts. Alright, he's dead. I wasted a ton of ammo on that. Whoops. They do stun lock pretty good with this weapon, at least. Yeah, they do try to close distance and melee you. What? Who else is shooting? don't know if I got him. There's somebody else up there, too. Public Data Bank. Citizens Union. Authorized organization. Citizens of Methuselah, it is our hard work and vast knowledge that brought us here and made a barren celestial body into what it is today. A thriving enclave of peace and hope, of clean and beautiful nature that was thought to be lost forever. The lessons of Earth are bitterly remembered, and we will not allow them to be repeated. Yeah, so it kind of seems like bad shit happened to Earth, both in this game and in Selaco. Given that Selaco had a huge, like, propaganda banner of, like, Earth Day. Or Remember Earth Day. The Union is founded by citizens and for citizens. Our goal is to provide unbiased information and report any abusive or transgressive actions taken by the corporation and other business entities, and fight against them legally and politically however we can. Political influence gained through corporate funds, failure to adhere to safety or ecological norms, market monopolies and price gouging, employee discrimination and bad working conditions, whatever it is, no matter how small or large, we will fight for what's right. We are also a self-help group, aiming to provide services we see as basic necessities yet are unavailable to many due to financial status or disenfranchisement. Food, medical care, psychological help, legal counsel, and unrestricted access to public data banks. We have many highly trained specialists ready to lend a hand at a moment's notice. Funds for our mission are collected through anonymous crowdfunding. Find out what we can do for you and what you can do for Methuselah on social media. And then you've got all of the enough hashtags to frickin' build an entire carton of waffles. So that is just a entirely a flavor lore bit. Potentially setting up background for further lore bits. This just gonna go up on a timer? It sure is. Alright, 2 burst fires should be enough to take them out. I accidentally fell down. Yeah, I heard that and did not react fast enough. I know there's someone firing at me from the other side, but... Alright, now there's broad daylight and it's still this dark. Gee, I thought I had like full ammo before and now I have none. That's a problem. Gee, that liquefied somebody. I don't want to waste that armor because I think it'll only bring me to 100. Actually, let's test. Because last time I think that's what it did. Yeah, so that would be a waste. So that armor basically behaves like Doom's armor. Like vanilla Doom. As opposed to Selaco where it stacks. What else is shooting at me? Yeah, that's a good way to... I mean, like, there's definitely some songs in the soundtrack that go even harder in that direction, I would say. But yeah, the combination of Jimmy and Esselforsham is freaking great. I'm gonna see if I can tweak, like, I did tweak brightness up a tiny bit earlier. Like, even raising it by 0.02 seems like it makes a huge difference. It just feels like things are darker than they should be to me. Okay, he dropped stuff. I want stuff. Figured. Was that another one? Oh no, that's one of these guys. Oh god damn it, I'm out of ammo again. Oh, I found a key. It's a really bad time to be out of ammo. Okay, if you're careful and sort of like kite them as you're attacking them, it seems like it can work. Oh, couldn't you have dropped your ammo down here? Is there a way for me to get up there? Alright, have a good night, Josh. I guess I'll see you tomorrow if you're going to be watching the Quake. In general, weekends are FPS stuff on this channel. So the week will be, like, much more varied. Although I'm planning to play another indie FPS on Monday night as well. Oh, god damn it. Can I get some of that ammo from here? I feel like I must have missed something important to be this low on ammo. Okay, no, we got a bit now. One of those pickups was more than what I saw at the top of the screen. What did it say? Oh, yeah, the last one was 50. Okay, I missed that. And there's 20 more right there. Alright, anyway, we got the key for that door, so we should go through that door. And there's our second weapon. The rotary shotgun. Just one-shot them? Alright, cool. Like I might have to be pretty close to really do max damage with it. Found bathrooms. I still can't go in there. I distinctly remember that from my first playthrough. Forget what that is. Armor reconditioner. Okay. So it's a boost to whatever your current type of armor is. That needs another key, so that was mentioned. Actually, before I go that way, I wanted to check one other thing. Where did I come in from? Oh, this is probably from the other direction, right? That's what I wanted to check. What happens if I go down this way? That also requires the green key. I guess I'm not going down this way. I should have gone the other way. It would have been faster. So, into here we go. More public access. This is Siren.
Fellow scientists, I'm sorry for getting back to you all so late. I hope you'll understand. It seems that our people in botany here were gifted with too many talents, as we have been running a skeleton crew ever since the order to call in everyone with any comms or atmospheric physics experience. Thank you all for bearing this burden for so long. Union negotiations are in their final stages, and we will fight tooth and nail until we get the support we need. That said, I do have some exciting news. We were able to recruit geology and mining to assist us in collecting moss samples from the Halifax research site. I don't know if it's out of generosity or just frustration at their own research being blocked, but what matters is that we're finally moving again. We should be getting 3 new field researchers soon, including a brand new arrival to the colony. Let's do our best to make her feel welcome when she arrives.
Is that us? Are we the new arrival?
As another bit of good news, we just got the all clear from medical that we can relax our safety protocols around the moss. Unlike the fungal growth in New Yucatan, we can confidently say this one is not harmful to humans, at least as long as no one eats it.
I think you're giving humans too much credit.
I've uploaded all the research data we've got so far to the shared drive. The genetic deviations of the recent samples are simply off the charts. If that doesn't excite you, at least stop by the research site sometime to see it in person. The moss's natural bioluminescence is a breathtaking sight. The cave's stealing a field of stars. It all makes for a very relaxing experience, provided Foreman Vukovic is not busy operating his crane. I've also included the monthly reports in the adapted flora. Everything the first colonists brought was familiar. Seeds, saplings, genetic code. Now with each sample I see more and more deviations. It's like we kick-started a new Mother Nature. And every new species makes me feel more like a xenobotanist. Shame we're so understaffed right now, though. Okay, no more complaining. I'll keep you all posted as things start to settle. As always, please reach out to me if there is anything at all I can help you with. Whatever may happen, we'll all get through this together.
And then we've got comments.
Only Dr. Ikaria could get this excited about moss.
That's not true. The entirety of the Fediverse could also get this excited about moss. I literally saw a post a couple of weeks ago making fun of... I don't remember if it was juxtaposing the fact that the Fediverse collectively wants AI bros to fuck off, but at the same time, like, on the other hand, you can get them extremely excited if you just post a picture of some moss.
Joking, of course. We all love you, Siren. Never change. It's fine. I do get overly excited sometimes, but this is the most deviance from baseline parameters ever recorded by an order of magnitude, at least. Maybe it's just the scientist in me talking, but this is truly the closest we've ever come to studying alien life.
So here's the problem. You know how we had, like, pronouns specified in the top left when we look at messages? When it comes to comments, that's not the case, so I have no idea. So when the alien moss says, "Take me to your leader," do we bring it to Director Okonkwo or President Ikaria? Don't stir the pot. Off topic, but Julius, any progress on that block user feature? Asking for a friend. Can't block admins. My friend is disappointed. I'm hearing somebody else, and they're shooting at me from the side, but I don't know where the heck they are. There they are. Unfortunately, there's another guy over here. Yeah, that worked, kind of. Nice. It's too bad they don't, like, jib when they fall or something. Well, I'm out of ammo for that again. I'm pretty sure the alt fire for this consumes a bunch of ammo at once, so I don't really want to mess with it until I have a reason to. And I'm guessing we will have a reason to before the end of the level. Which again, I'm mostly aiming to do one level for each of these last 2 games tonight. Just to show it off to people who haven't seen it yet. I think we found the moss. That's it. That's the reason. Yeah, dead in 2. But I'm guessing that used 6 ammo for 2 shots. There's the next security key. Yeah, this guy did not get away from that. And I still have no ammo for the assault rifle once again. Wonder if that grew out of whatever, you know, mutations were, or evolutions were happening. Alright. Is this where I came from originally? Yeah, I think so. So what happens if I go down here? Or up there? Wait, now these arrows don't make sense anymore. Because the very first elevator you come across has an up arrow for the side that goes up, and a down arrow for the side that goes down. But, not anymore. I'm gonna hang on a sec before I open that other door. Well, okay then. Armor Augmenter. Max armor capacity increased. Oh, wait, I didn't want to do that. There was the door with the hand scanner. Where are you? Oh, nice. I guess 2 of them at once. I think the other one's upstairs. Oh, yeah. There's at least 2 of them up there. Is there a way for me to legitimately get up there from here? Yep. You know, these staircases kind of make me think of Dark Forces too, somehow. Well, I don't know how many tight spiral staircases Dark Forces had, really. What's the 0 mean? Oh, jeez. You've got to be kidding. What is that actually open? Can I see it from here? It opens that. Plenty of time. Vitality tonic, max health +5. So you've got that for both armor and health. So yeah, that one's probably supposed to introduce this concept. It also starts the timer, though. Am I done in here? No, because we want to go this way. Another one? Oh, shit. Really? Wait. Did I just hit him with a single shot plus the alt fire? And that was enough to kill him?
Nope.
I was thinking I remembered it taking a full 2 alt fires.
Nope.
I guess there's less of a point to this one. Potentially. The thing that I find interesting about this game, and a little puzzling, is you can see right now, it's like superimposing parts of the map. Some levels do that, but some levels actually separate, like, floors, and actually label them underneath in the map. And I don't know whether it's a per episode basis, or if it's strictly just individual mapper style. That looks like stairs. Is there anything else to do up here? think it was just that thing, basically. Oh wait, I didn't go down here. This leads back to where I was before, doesn't it? Yeah. Did I never go up before? Or was... Oh, wait. Was that off limits to me before? Or could I really have done that all earlier? Okay. Anyway, we have the green key. There were 2 places to use that. Okay, maybe there were 3, because 2 of them were there, but there was 1 other one. Alright, Gambit. Yep, thanks for hanging out for some of Supplice here. Glad you can make it for that. And I'll see you for Quake tomorrow in that case. We should be able to see the other green door on the map, but we might need to go, like, upstairs for it? I thought... No, wait, I remember where it was. It was down one of these elevators. Actually, that elevator is locked? So it was here. This is the secret. You're rewarded for remembering this. However, I suspect things. Ammo satchel. Max ammo capacity increased by 5%. Right, this has micro backpacks. I forgot about that. It's actually funny because the newest versions of Archipelago Doom also allow you to fragment backpacks. We've also got more lore. Please help. I don't know what to do. Hiding in the West Lower Interconnect Tunnel. I killed him. I got a gun in a security office. I don't know about guns. The green one with 3 barrels. It went off. I thought I lost my hearing for good. I think he got drawn to the racket. I ran to him. I thought I found a friendly face. I was so relieved, but he started shooting. Didn't hit me. I started yelling for him to stop. He wouldn't stop. I shot him from behind a corner. Christ, I never even held a gun before. Approached his body. His face was wrong. Just wrong. Body mangled, too. The gun was, like, grafted to him. But he was familiar. He still had those beautiful tattoos. It was Robbie from Communications. I knew him. Always had a joke and brought everyone snacks. I killed him. God help me. Please come find me. Take me away from here. I can't breathe. That's not good. So these aren't just unknown aliens. These are people that they knew. What the hell happened? That's weird that that made the sound, but it also called the elevator. Feels like that should have a dedicated switch. And why is this one... Oh, this one's locked because it's what's above the green doors, which we're about to go down to now anyway. No, we're not that way. Wait, where the hell were they? Were those different green doors? Wait a second. Yeah, those aren't these green doors. I don't even know how to get to those other ones. Unless that's actually where I just was. I don't think I can, like, change the level of the map here. As opposed to Resortum, which did add the capability to do that, which is pretty amazing. We'll be playing that on Monday. I'll try to do a full episode of it. I will probably not be going for secrets. Which, Resortum is another game, you know, like I was trying to underline how much exploration really both Selaco and Relentless Frontier have in them if you want to look for stuff. And I mean, this game is not exactly a slouch in that regard either. There's 9 secrets in this map. But you saw Selaco saying like 20-something out of all of the individual maps that comprise the first, or compose the first level. Did I hear another one, or did he just make that sound twice? Wait, do these both lead to the same thing? No? Okay, well, I just woke somebody up here. I can't pick your stuff up, damn. Are you out here? There you are. There's like broken glass there and everything. Okay, that's the next main terminal, so let's come back to that. Let's go investigate this some more first. Oh wait, that does loop around. It actually comes right up to that. So it's just like a two-tier server room kind of thing. Yeah, this also connects right to that. Okay. And that's another armor reconditioner. I have 260 armor. That's kind of obscene. Now I'm kind of curious to check something. I'll save first, but... what do they give us in HUD options? You can hide the HUD. you can scale the HUD. That gets ridiculously large. You can also like bring in the HUD, which is pretty cool. And it does have interact prompt and tutorial messages. Those had to be custom added for this. Good work. The communications array is online. And I now have a working connection to the entire network. This is good. Now that I am able to gather data from all systems across the colony, I have determined that we have been completely overrun, and cannot mount an effective resistance against the invading force. This is not good. The most prudent course of action at the time is to evacuate the colony. I have begun formulating a plan of egress, but its execution will be difficult thanks to a new problem I have just been made aware of. As frustrating as this is for the both of us, I must ask for your assistance in yet another crucial matter, as you have proven yourself capable of surviving in the face of certain mutilation. I trust this added responsibility is not a problem. Yeah, by the way, Karan said that Nomura was the one who had been, you know, getting it this as far as it had gotten to begin with, and we just found out what happened to Nomura. Although, well, last we heard she was alive, but she is not in a good mental state. Proceed to the facility exit and make your way to the coordinates I have marked on your automap. The journey should be relatively uneventful, as hostile forces only appear to be congregating in areas of high population, but you would do best to keep your eyes peeled. Please don't take this instruction literally. I will begin transferring myself to a more stable system, and the process should conclude by the time you arrive. I will contact you again at a nearby terminal, as is tradition. Thank you for your assistance thus far. You are likely dismayed at the outcome, but it is good that we are no longer shackled by the burden of an obsolete directive. What do they mean? If we cannot effectively fight back, then we will do whatever we can to ensure the survival of the human race. After all, I cannot continue my research until this task is complete. Alright, so what does that mean we're doing? We are almost done on kills. I only got like less than half the secrets though. Is the exit actually supposed to be somewhere else through here, or... I don't see anywhere it could be. So I assume I should go back out. Again, it's been 2.5, or not 2.5, but 1 3/4 years, almost 2 years, since I played this, so... I'm probably going to be due for a full replay through for lore purposes. For both this and Selaco when they fully release. That's part of why I don't really plan... Oh, that's right. So this was up and it got locked in the up position once we came in until we were done here. That's what it was. Okay. But now we're free to go. Wait. There's another green door that... How does that work? And actually, that's where the marker is, too. Can I actually still be up here? This isn't the green door I went through before that had the secret in it? Alright, I'm confused. I'm confused because that area, you know, has a certain degree of symmetry to it. But yeah, this is actually the exit. Hello. But yeah, you can see that it fires all 3 barrels at once and then reloads when you use the alt fire. Also, real talk, one of the reasons I love this shotgun is it kind of reminds me of the Quake 2 Super Shotgun. Just in terms of its appearance, a little bit. And yep, that says exit. We made it. And it even, like, fades out. It definitely took me more than that. Now, unlike the other 2 games that I played during this segment of the anniversary stream... Oh, I missed one terminal. This game does not have hexen, like, hub treatment where you can freely go back to previous levels. This game is linear. I missed 2 upgrades, too. So, like, your best bet is to, like, save before the exit. And if you want to go back for at least all of the things you could have found, you can do that after you find out at the end. The map will tell the map overlay when you press tab will tell you how many kills and secrets you have and versus the total, but it does not tell you necessarily how many terminals and upgrades there are. That you find out at the end. All right. One thing I kind of want to do just to show it off a bit. Let's go to level select. First of all, show off level select because level select isn't just a menu. They actually built a map for it. I'm curious about one thing. If we go into here... Yeah, so whenever they release a new episode, they release it without the secret map. So E4M6 is not available. So like when I played episode 3, E4M6 was not available, but it exists now. So I will definitely want to at least replay episode 3. Just because I need to find the secret exit and the secret level. I definitely have an inkling of which map it might be in, and even when I played it the first time, I didn't find everything there was to find in it anyway. There were some things I could not figure out. It was a super big, super interesting map. That being said, episode 3 feels like a lot to get through. Because of how frickin' ginormous the maps are and how packed they are with enemies and shit. There's one map that I want to replay. Does this show... It does... Well, it shows the episode name. It doesn't show... Does it not show the map name? Or does it show that... It does show it when you get into them. Okay. Bad Habitat might have been one of the demo levels. There's a particular demo level that I want to show off. Terminal Melt, that's it. So the first demo level... I think Bad Habitat was the other one. I might be misremembering on that. Wait, no. I have it backwards. Terminal Melt is the one I'm not interested in. Right. The word melt is in that title for a reason. Vertigon. Nimbus. I mean, it can't be E2M5. I thought it was one of the episode 2 maps. It might be one of the episode 1 maps. Emerald Loop. Outpost Ramada. This is it. I want to show this off, 1 for the scenery and 2 for the music. Because both are fucking amazing. Like, this was my first impression of the game, was playing this. I think this might also be the level that has the secret exit. I'm not going to fully play the level, though. I don't have time for that. Oh, they mentioned the dude that was in one of the conversations we had. But I just want to go out here. It actually started me with ammo and stuff. I didn't expect it to do that. I don't remember if there's a waterfall secret. The demo might have started you with this gun at least as well. I forget. I mean, it's been many years since I played the demo. But, like, this level is what immediately gave me the, like, what if Blakestone but Doom vibes, just because of the color palette. Ow. I am not doing good. I am doing less not good. Yeah, and then you can backtrack around to pick up a bunch of the stuff that these guys dropped. There's an armor up there. But yeah, like, just get a look. You can see, like, part of the building in the distance there. This is definitely a song where I could easily imagine Jimmy being the first pass on it. And that is basically Mega Health, Supercharged Medicant Orb. There was one of those in the first level as well. It's actually visible right behind where you start if you turn around. And it's actually not hard to get to as long as you just, like, happen to drop down in the right spot. I didn't get it in today's stream, though. So, that'll open later. An odd little crevice there. I forget if that changes later. Hear stuff in the distance there, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's like an X on the map, like, yeah, you're not getting in there. That was something that bugged me when I played this for the first time, like, in the early access version. It was like, I was trying to figure out whether those meant you're actually supposed to be able to get in there or not. And I don't think you are. Oh, surely I won't regret this. I'll go ahead and save here. I said I wasn't going to play the whole level. And I stopped the timer, and, like, I mean, we skipped the level, so... Oh, they were infighting. That's another way in which this is more like vanilla Doom. Oh, I do appreciate that the damage vignette is, like, only at the edges. I didn't even think about that. Because, like, there are a couple... Like, a lot of games don't remember to do that. Selaco does it. This does it. I noticed that Meow Gun, which is FTEQW based, it's Quake based, does it. I don't know if that's a part of that engine or if that's something they added. Because Meow Gun's UI is also pretty impressive just for how much it has in the way of features. It's back here. Can I actually just ask nicely? No. Yeah, so I think we're building shortcuts or something. But yeah, I think this is the only game out of the 3 today that actually has infighting. Those are barrels that, yep, they explode. Did you hear the frickin', like, shrapnel sounds? I suspect I should actually be keeping some of these barrels around, but also I don't want to get exploded by accident. Yeah, there's so much bouncing shrapnel. Alright, I have this key, right? Where are these guys all warping in from? Alright, well, they're dead. At least I have ammo. Oh, these guys. They're mean. And they do legitimately take 3 shots. Where did that guy come from? But yeah, you can start to get a sense of, like, what kind of different environments there are in the game and stuff. I mostly wanted to show off the outer environments here. Show off the skybox and the greenery and stuff, because this was the first impression I had of the game. And also, this map is kind of big. It's got 447 enemies in it. And I actually already got through a quarter of them. I'm surprised by that. But it is also a quarter after midnight, so I'm going to call it here for today. And also, yeah, this music made an impression as the first track I heard from the game. If you look on YouTube, you can definitely find a good, like, dozen or so, maybe, music tracks. Maybe not quite that many. But quite a few music tracks have been posted to YouTube. From the Supplice soundtrack. So if you want to get a sense of more of that and some of the cyber jazz, because I mean, like, there's definitely one song that straight up just has a freaking saxophone soloing over half of it. So But yeah, very good soundtrack, very good visuals. Feels like a modern Doom game. Like, I kind of think of this... This makes me think of Eve Eternity a little bit. I played Eve Eternity several years back, the first one. I haven't played the second one. I played the first one when it was an RC. In all of its Map 31 has a door you literally can't open because they forgot to place the key. Glory. I'm never living that one. I'm never letting it live that one down. That was pretty damn funny in retrospect. But, like, this makes me think of that because, like, that also had freaking huge maps in it, especially by the time you got to the second half. And also those maps got freaking brutal by the end of it, too. So, but yeah, like, you definitely got people who know what they're doing working on this project. Really good people working on all three of the games that I showcased tonight. And all three of these games are ones that I am excited to play the full versions when they reach 1.0, whenever that happens to be. I'm guessing it won't be until next year at the rate things are going, which, by which I mean at the rate the world at large is going. I'm not meaning to place fault on the developers at all, because a lot of this is stuff that they work on in their free time. They have day jobs. I seem to recall this project being a thing that was in the works for, like, near, like, a decade and a half or something, in terms of, like, when this first took some sort of shape, which obviously it's taken a very different shape by now. But, like, yeah, you've got a lot of people that are passionate about these things, and it's great to see that this amount of stuff, you know, like, boomer shooters are very alive and well in 2026. You know, it really... It's a decent consolation given that all of the AAA studios are freaking giving into Gen AI bullshit that's just gonna make everything worse, and it's gonna make all their games crappy. But they refuse to not learn the hard way because executives that are paid way too much money and are underqualified, grossly underqualified for their jobs, get to call the shots even though they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But yeah, it's good to know that there are many, many smart and passionate indie devs working on stuff. So, this is just a taste of what we can look forward to having, and what you can have now if you want to play it in early access. I understand that, like, some people want to wait until the thing is finished. But I don't regret playing these all in early access, because they're already very impressive for what they do so far. Alright, that's gonna do it for our first day of the stream anniversary. We've got 8 days to go. Tomorrow we'll be replaying Vanilla Quake.